Welcome to our first completely in-house Sidekick Showdown. Let's just be simple with it. It's the first Sidekick Showdown that we have seen in a very, very long time. I am a Little Fuzzy Seal, or Little Fuzzy Seal, I guess, nowadays. My name is Ben, joined by Shane Charity Schiffelbahn. How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. You're getting closer each week.
I thought I was right. No, Schiffelbein.
So
that was
close.
actually... You're saying that's right, but I think
better,
no, that's actually a mistake on every single syllable. Schiffelbein.
Yeah.
I got the L right.
You got the L right.
I got the L right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't even say if this is your first time here, because this is all our first time here. This is going to be a duo event. Quals occurred in the app, or rather on the website as it is now, located at. Over the past 2 weeks, you qualified for it, and you got a slot here today. So a lot of our teams are ones that we've had from SSLs, a lot of guys kind of splitting the squad in half and sitting them today. But we also have a lot of new players that I don't really recognize that are mixed in with these powerhouses. So we'll be able to see if they're just going to be fodder or if they'll actually be able to put up a fight against some of the big boys.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see how they do, because, I mean, that's one of the great things about duos is sometimes it's hard to find a group of 4 guys that work really well together and can actually compete at a competent level or at a tier 2, tier 1 level for squads. But duos, it's a lot easier to find, one you can just hit up your best friend and you already have the team chemistry down, and now all you have to do is worry about shooting people. Hopefully, yeah. But either way, it's a lot easier to find one other person that you'll mesh well with rather than having to find 3 others. And so
what do you think? Less tilt?
Likely, yeah. And it's Vikendi, and so a lot of these teams might not have any experience as far as competitive goes for Vikendi. I mean, it's been out long enough to where they likely know the map pretty well by this point, but as far as like competitive gameplay, there hasn't been a whole lot of it. And so a lot of these teams, this might be their first go-around.
And that's what I'm really excited for. We have 4 maps in Vikendi. The first 2 will be EU. The last 2 will be NA in these 4 rounds. $675 prize pool. As far as the player split goes, it's pretty down the middle, I think, with a slight EU favor. So we're going to be giving them the advantage first. And also, we are running with comp settings. Now, it might be a little jank. Every map does actually have its loot table, so we just kind of drag and dropped the comp settings. So I actually don't know what it's going to look like, but all the comp settings are dragged over besides scores. So comp circles are the same, comp loot is the same, but the scores are slightly different as this is a duos environment. It's 30 points for a win, 3 points per kill. So the differential there is the same as compared to normal comp scoring. But beyond that, second place is 18 points. So there's a huge deficit between first place and second place. But besides that, it's very, very similar to normal comp settings. So first place heavy and kill point heavy. Those are the 2 big things that are going on today.
Okay. And it'll be interesting to see it be placed on Vikendi as well, because that point system will work really well for Erangel and Miramar, where it's a lot more open terrain, and the fights can lead towards those high kill points and high kill wins. But on Vikendi, there's a lot more terrain and a lot more buildings to hang out in. And so maybe since it's a high kill or high priority on a first place, you might see a little bit more passive play, give up a few of those points for the kills, but go for the high risk, high reward win.
Potentially. I think that going for those kills early, especially if you're confident in your team, is a pretty good way to go. In the last SKS, we had 80 duos, and it was a cluster and a half. I'm saying out those a lot of times where I was just like, I don't even know what to say. Like, there's just so much stuff going on. People like running around in the blue, blue tanking the entire time. I think that's what I remember seeing Wolf do back when he was still a part of EG from way back in the day. But this time around, there's only going to be 60 duos, so we've cut out 20 different players, which, alongside Vikendi's cover, seems to me like it would be a little bit more like a pub match, where there's a lot of incentive due to the reduced player count to seek out those fights early, clear out your corner of the circle, gets you kill points, it prevents you from being shot in the back, and especially if you take fights in the phase 1, 2, maybe even 3. With only 60 players in the game, I feel like it's relatively unlikely that you will get shot in the back if you take enough fights early.
I kind of feel the exact. Even though it's only 60 people in the game, it's still 30 teams, and 30 duos at that. And so, in squads, 60 people, it's not as big because that's 14 teams or 15 teams. Sorry, and so that's 15 spots being taken up, and maybe 20 at the very most if you have some 2-2 splits going on. But in duos, that's 30 different spots taken up, and even more if you have if you have a 1-1 split going. 1-1 splits are a lot less likely in duos, but still around 30 spots taken up. And so the chances of getting third party, I think, is even more so in duos than it is in squads.
Well, that just makes more sense because there's going to be more people wandering around.
Yeah,
and I think in Vikendi, this is my point, I think there are just going to be a lot of people wandering around. I do think that there's going to be like 1 or 2, maybe 3, like 3 people that are just running, like hiding in compounds. I think that compound crashes are going to be more prevalent, or not even crashes, just walking into it, because you can do that on Vikendi, and compounds here are big. Listen, we're speculating a lot. Neither of us really know what to expect going into this. So we can speculate all we want, but really what it comes down to is what is going to happen in the game. However, there is one thing I know I'm not going to have to speculate, and that's going to be that Loot Cave is going to be a cluster. It's still in play. We didn't turn it off. So it's
Can you turn it off?
Apparently you can. Dan, our production Dan, was convinced that you could. You can just remove all the loot from it. Like you can. The cave's still going to be there. It's just going to debate everyone. And I didn't want people walking into the loot cave and just being like, wait, what?
Where is everything?
Yeah, so we just kept it on.
Because I know there's the crates in there that you can loot, like 2 of them, but...
There's quite a few crates, a lot of crate items.
Okay.
And we wanted to give people access and reward people for doing that, even if it is potentially detrimental to the health of the game in some people's opinion. It's jank. It's really jank. But also at the same time, I think that there's less incentive to go there. There's less incentive to go there in the first place. Vikendi's biggest problem, or people's biggest problem with Vikendi, there's a small difference in wording there, was that DMRs and sniper rifles are rare as heck. In these comp settings, though, I think that they're, before the multiplier, notched up to 3x. Is that correct? 3x DMR SR?
Yeah, and then 1.8 on top of that. So it's like 5.4 total.
Yeah, so there is going to be a lot more sniper rifles here on Vikendi than what people are used to, which what that says to me, you get your ARs, you get your SRs, and it's like, all right, well, the guns you get at Loot Cave aren't really going to be as impactful.
Yeah.
So all of our big brain players might be like, oh, I know what these settings are, so there's no reason to go Loot Cave. I'll be able to get everything I want besides that. But then we're going to get people that just drive the UAZ and they're just like, I think it's called a Zima.
Hey, the level 3 gear off the start of the game, I could see the want to go there.
I would never drop cave in this environment. I would never do it.
You get the early kills, you get the level 3 gear, you get the I'm just saying.
The M249 is what you meant, I think. But yeah.
That too. I would take the M249 right off the start.
Oh, I'm glad that you're a smart player.
Hey, I'm just saying. I could see it happening. And it would be fun to get to watch, personally.
I think it'll happen.
You have, the one duo that lands there, fights off 10 different teams that are crash him, and then as he goes to leave, he just gets shot from the one person that looted the outside compound and sat there for like 20 minutes.
That's me,
and waited.
Well, I wouldn't wait 20 minutes. Once I get my gun, I'd go in there.
Push. All right.
But yeah, I'm a late pushing POS, honestly, and all these. I hate hot dropping.
It's fun.
I hate it, but it feels luck based. We'll be seeing what happens today, though, because you got to remember, for the loot cave, you can't just walk into it. You either need a frag or you need a vehicle to crash into it. I'm curious about this. They recently we went over this in our lunch break stream recently. They replaced the UAZ with a new vehicle that's essentially a UAZ, but I'm wondering if it's going to be like fat enough or skinny enough rather to fit in through the cave walls.
It looked smaller than the
it looked a little thinner. It looked, but I'm not sure what it exactly.
Actually, so
neither have I.
Not entirely sure. But from the pictures, it looked like it was a little thinner. More
actually out yet?
Than...
Wait, hold on. This is out, right? It wasn't on test.
I haven't played it,
goodness.
so I personally don't know.
I don't know if it's even on test. I don't even know what we're getting into now.
Hey, I would like to see it in play, but at the same time, I don't even think vehicles are all that important in Vikendi.
No, they're not. But I'm only saying, will it fit through the loot cave? That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna guess yes. I don't think it's going to be bigger than the US, and the US fits, right?
Ish. Like, I've seen, like, dossiers in that middle room with all the crates on it, but I've seen UAZs clog up hallways before, and it's just like, all right, well, we can't get through there anymore. We'll see.
Well, who knows? We'll find out here. Honestly, I could see a few teams going for the cave, but overall, I think Vikendi, especially like with having the extra loot, they're going to be able to find the loot that they need pretty much anywhere. You land one compound, you're kitted for the rest of the game, and with how
it's
how
gonna be
many
really
compounds
easy.
are in the game for Vikendi, it's going to be very easy. It makes your late games a very interesting late game because everyone's fully kitted. There's going to be a decent amount of players still alive because of the hard cover that's still in play, and so it's going to be great. And especially, people are going to have snipers, they're going to have DMRs, they're going to have scopes, and I love Vikendi for all of those.
I just don't want to see someone drop in a standard compound, loot it, never leave, then win. As long as that doesn't happen, I'm happy. But I think
it would not surprise me.
It's a pretty good strat, I think.
Hey, I mean, sometimes that's how it plays out. Sometimes with PUBG, you get the circle favored, and sometimes it goes circle 1 through 9. It lands directly on your compound, and then it just hands you the game. But that means you're gonna have to hold off potential crashes. You can't risk going down, and you also you might not be able to get as many kills because you're stuck to pretty much either having to third party or hope that someone crashes your compound for those kills. And in a kill heavy point system, sometimes playing the edge you'll end up snaking that first place away, even though you didn't actually take first place.
Yeah, although that being said, it is going to be pretty hard because it's 10 kills in this environment to surpass first place, and winning a squad fight in squads, that's you get 4 of the 10 points that a first play gives, but now in here in a duo wipe, you only get 2 of the points that you need to.
It's fair. Yeah.
So you get half the points here for a quote-unquote squad wipe. I'm not sure what exactly that's gonna mean for, I guess, the viability of going for a very aggressive play style. If maybe just going for that first place by any means necessary is gonna be the play, which I'm not sure if the players think about this much. I'm not sure if how they're gonna be reacting to this, but that's what would say to me that if I get within the top 10, I am snaking like a mother if my duo's dead.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially if your duo's dead, and it's all situational. That's another reason that I love PUBG is every game is like a new game, and so it's definitely interesting to play it out in comp.
All right, well, let's see what's gonna be happening here. Plane path going east to west. You can't really talk about it too much because it's like, all right, everything's viable. And the only thing to look for is going to be hot drops, which we will actually see near that Peshkova area right in front. Sheezer is making an error. Sheezer is making a mistake right now. I have no idea where his teammate is, but Ryozan and Exvo will have both their players here right off the bat. Actually finding an M4 compared to Sheezer's Bison, getting pushed right away. Ryozan's going in without Exvo, so willing to take this 1v1, and that's going to be a pretty simple kill. It was a 2v1, but Ryozan gave him a fair fight, but it still wasn't enough. Sheezer going down here real early.
Yeah, eliminated 1 minute into the game. That's not how you want to start a 4-game series. He's going to have to step it up the next 3. I'm surprised to see someone going down and out that early, but
I don't think his duo loaded in. So I think that was the reason why we saw him play the way he did. Looking over here, though, this is not as asymmetrical a situation. This is a 2v2 we're seeing breakout between Patchy and Vactor, with the team in yellow, one of our Galactus array teams, Aussie and Huaith on the northwest side, reducing the minimap a couple of teams that are less willing to partake in this fight. But for now, it's going to be Patchy and Vactor playing close together, while Galactus are spreading out, trying to find these angles, but also trying to get as much and as fast early game loot as they can. I'm just looking at what's in Aussie's building. I wish that my Vikendi buildings looked like this. This is insane, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the amplified loot settings in action. You get pretty much everything you need.
There's
off
stuff
of one
everywhere.
building. Yeah, everywhere. Which leads to interesting situations whenever you do get hot dropped, and it's kind of who's going to push first, who's going to peek and get down first. It leads to a lot of peak battles, and hopefully you're on the end of an M4 with a red dot rather than. Well, it looks like everyone's in this building's got pretty good loadout.
Yeah, everyone has
got the AR, SMG.
VSS, everything that you would possibly want here in this fight, in like 2 buildings here. Galactus are right here, a bit of a standoff against Vactor and Patchy. I'm not sure if this fight's even going to happen at this rate. Like, I think we're both in the zone. So they're probably both going to be pretty happy with taking this very, very slow. So looking elsewhere around the map, we are going to be seeing... Oh, as I say that, we leave just in time to see Vactor, to hear Vactor get headshot through the window, and Ozzy's going in off of that. Patchy holding the stairwell, trying to at least go for a trade in the situation. He might not, no, he doesn't know what the trade of this building looks like, but he will now realize what's going on as the door gets blown open. Patchy will be holding that, but the Peeker's advantage going in the favor of Ozzy, and they will be clearing out Alive for Gaming, claiming this compound. But the question is that will the teams around that who heard that react? I'm already seeing Azako Boars, Pros Don't Snake, Karks and their team. There's a lot of people that have the option to go for this fight. The question is, will they go for it?
We do have Snip, Zeko, and Friend pushing up on Dirty Zin. They're playing it kind of slow. They definitely have an idea that someone's in this compound. They don't see any doors open, but they might be able to hear Dirty Zin here. And they're crouch walking. Dirty Zin definitely has no idea that they are
I think he's through that window.
Ooh, no, he's still looting.
We could see through the X-ray.
Yeah.
We knew that we were what to look for, but those windows are not always easy to see through. That being said, they are stalking him. And this is also, with the loot settings, super greedy from Pros Don't Snake. Trying to take 2 compounds in your own. Snip Zeko just pre-peeking these windows, saying, will I be able to see him? Oh no! Oh, Zin finding him. There was one headshot landed onto Zin before he got that down. So really good stuff from Zin for now. Kark's now pushing up through this open field. Oh my god! He's gonna do it on his own, taking out one of the strongest mechanical teams in the lobby. And I gotta say, that's why I hate going for stealth. I feel like a dummy whenever I die like that.
Yeah, they pushed maybe a little too slow there. It gave Dirty Zin time to peek through that window, and then they're stuck out in the open. No hard cover besides that rock right next to him. And man, he tried to make it, but obviously Dirty Zin got to him first. Great plays from Dirty Zin there. Realistically, that's why you gotta stay on your toes and peek out the windows when you can. Make sure no one's pushing up on you. Even though you're inside the circle, you might not always be safe. And Dirty Zin realized that and quickly took him out. That was a great place from him, honestly.
Looking elsewhere on the map, we have almost Tanaka. His teammate looks like they didn't load in. No one really around him, but he's still playing incredibly cautiously. Looks like he's going for a bit of a gatekeep outside the zone, but mostly just being careful here for Tanaka, or for almost.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate to lose a teammate right off the start. It impacts your entire game because, you know, in squads, if you lose one off the start, you still have 3 up, and that's 75% of your team. But if you lose 1 in duos, that's automatically 50% of the team down. And
oh god!
If you go down, then boom, there's your game for the
Gaming
day.
had an uncontested loot cave. We haven't all got an MK14 for Lappa Gaming, and we've seen them be so strong. Look at here, the major team. On top of the mountain, having a bit of a height advantage. These frags coming in on top of Mutant Gaming. They're trying to hold on Lataz, but they're just consistently losing these peak battles. Maro does... Actually, no, Kawar does incur a little bit of damage, so that's really good from Lataz. Eventually getting a first aid kit off during that time, but getting flanked a little bit too far on the right. The trade coming out, though, as DaVinci does find it down with that frag. He's trying to cover his teammate who's crawling away, both landing a lot of damage on each other, but the important thing is that Lataz does, in fact, get away, so there will be a res trade potentially going... Actually, no, Maro's just going for the hard peak, maybe even a heal, allowing this res to occur. And it's not like he can easily go to Kawar either, because Kawar is not in heavy cover. He's only sitting there behind a single two-dimensional tree. The smoke grenade now going out, which really translates and shows very obviously what they're doing. And DaVinci is actually going to move up, try to punish this. See Kawar around the tree, shoot the player who's getting down, but a quick turn. Mara taking DaVinci down, turning this back into the 1v1 situation. He needs to win this. And oh my goodness, a couple of headshots on Lataz as well. Looks like that was a... Actually, that's fight is a fight that's happening elsewhere. So once again, a res trade will be occurring, but there is a tempo advantage in favor of the players on top of this hill as they got the down second in the res started, second from Mutant Gaming. Maro realizes this is going to be going in right away. Lataz caught out in the open. DaVinci, no ammo, no HP. The smokes are out. The X-ray is allowing us to see through it, but they cannot, in fact, have any idea what's going on. But using a little bit of audio and a lot of spraying will allow Maro and Kawar to take out Mutant Gaming.
Yeah, that was scary for Maro and Friend. Maro opting to wait it out and kind of hold the angle instead of going for the res right off the start. Kind of put him in a sticky situation because when he actually did go for the res and the other team decided to shoot at him, I honestly thought they were done for. But then Maro got the quick shots on the one of the enemy's heads, and then got the Ladas down to like red bar, got him down to 1 shot. great shots from Morrow to save the day. I honestly thought they were cooked there.
Yeah, there was a lot more res trades than I expected during that fight as well. Like, both players kind of playing it slowly. If we look around the map, we do see Zako Boers getting pretty close to Ozzy and Huey, who recently won their fight. Oh my god, this is so campy from them. They're just sitting there. Brixel had no idea. Oh no! Morpheus now going for the trade, but there's a second player who's forced inside, and now they'll both be dying. 2 players dead in the blink of an eye, and that was the Zako Boers too. And man, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, I'm never playing a duo again. That's frustrating to die to.
Opens the door and just immediately gets sprayed down. And there was actually, it was kind of strategic because they had one person that was angled to watch the front of the shack and one person just hanging out in the shack.
Smart. And that's also a place where if you're entering the compound, that's a really smart building to crawl on top of, and then you crawl on top if you don't hear anything. It's like, all right, let's just go ahead and loot it. Nope.
Yeah, that would make me want to turn off my computer. I would probably be done with PUBG for a little bit after that. But unfortunate for Zako Boers, they've got another 3 games ahead of them of the same stuff.
Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure how they feel, but hopefully they stick around. Oh god, that is a heck of a hard shift. Doesn't have too much time to get in either, so Murat with the rest of Galactus are going to need to hurry up and move on into this one. Zimtastic and Tazinator are in this compound already. Galactus Array are going to need to clean this out quick. Although I think that everyone on this north side realizing how hard this shift was are saying, no, I am not shooting everyone. I am on my feet. I am running right now.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't find a vehicle, that's going to cover them. We do have sprays coming out from Huth trying to take down players in pink. I'm not entirely sure. Didn't catch the team name, but didn't look like they connected any of the shots, unfortunately. I think that was 4 kills for them already this game.
Yep, quite a few. They're definitely the kill leaders already. This is going to be Baby Beans and Clusterfunk trying to make their way around. We saw that new bike on the side. But it looks like they will be content with sitting here on the edge. And with how many players are to the north and how long of a hardship that was, they will be... It looks like with along with their car, they're forcing themselves into a gatekeeping position, which could lead to a ton of kills here. These players don't have a lot of time to make this fight happen, but Orion Polaris, after spotting out one of our Galactus Array teams, the North will be allowing it to happen. Looks like 1 knock occurring, but Murat Kanko able to get rezzed, but not much to say in the face of this knock from Orion Polaris.
I mean, they're going to have to make a move here soon. They are meting for the phase 3 blue circle, but I mean, that's closing in now. I don't see any vehicles. This is not good. Not the best fight to pick.
They're hoping they find a car to their north. That's pretty much all they can do. The zone does begin its shrink, though, and that is a very, very fast zone. I hope these guys brought their meds. Looks like Tazinator did, as he does have already 6 first aids, and honestly, he might need them. This is not going to be a nice zone to get caught out in. A lot more players coming in from the north, but it looks like that Galactus Array to the north. They're trying to figure out exactly how they should play this. They're not sure if they should go for a car or if they should just run into this. But either way, it's going to be a really hard fight for them to win if they do decide to fight into it.
Naka's just like, all right, guys, see you later.
Have fun.
I found my vehicle. I'll let you fight it out.
Oh,
ooh, nice shots onto Kai's and the elimination as well. But that Murat is still up. He's inside the compound. No eyes from...
How many kilometers away from the zone are we? 1, 2, about maybe 1.5 kilometers away. Oh my god, a big fight happening here. I need the center of the center of the map. Actually, we see the northeast. That there's a lot of the teams that are in red near that coastline that are fighting over what is probably going to be a very, very strategic position here. Mastermind's able to find 1 knock already. I don't think that was his teammate to the right, and no, it actually wasn't. So Expo and Ryozen able to take down Cottonmouth and Chris, the killer of a team, almost team, and will be claiming themselves a centralized compound. And we saw how close they're able to get right there. These compounds are big enough that 2 men might not be enough to cover every angle, and people are kind of allowed to just walk in because of that.
Yeah, realistically, if you get a knock, it's extremely easy to push on it because not only is holding the angles or holding every angle damn near impossible, trying to hold those angles up opens up your head to, you know, the compounds across the street, the hilltops. Ooh, good shots coming out from Morrow, and that's going to be the end of Tanaka going out in 21st place. Or 20th place, rather.
Both of our teams going to be going down here. Tanaka hoping that his teammate will actually load into the game next. The next zone going to be popping, and this is going to be an ugly one. as it shifts with keeping the river in and actually disallowing a lot of the terrain on the outside beside the city. And no one wants to be in the city at this stage of the game. Over here, though, Clusterfunk, they will be maintaining their presence on the northwest side of the zone, getting a fight against Morrow. We saw them fight previously. We'll see if they can win another one. Morrow getting caught in the open, getting a lot of damage put onto him. These mini 14s putting a lot of work, but Morrow going to be getting really close, getting to this tree. But if Clusterfunk has a good grenade arm, then this might not work. The frag rolls over.
Ooh.
Morrow knows it's coming, is forced out in the open, flush out of cover, and that is a very hard fight to win. Kawar nowhere near in position to help Morrow out for that one. He's actually going to be disengaging from this one, not taking the same angle, potentially going for a flank or a disengage, but that's going to be really hard when Baby Beans is on the high ground. A body shot and a headshot will take down Morrow and Kawar. Clusterfunk getting their first wipe of the day.
I believe that was their second wipe, actually. They're up to 4 kills already.
They are?
Yeah, that was great plays from them with the nade to flush out Morrow, and then they followed it up with the gunshots immediately. And so let's see if they can keep it up and maybe pick up a few more before they go down and out, or potentially even get that win.
This is one of the teams I haven't seen anything from at all, actually. This is the first event they'll be playing here at Firstblood, and they're already putting on a pretty good show.
Yeah.
Taking down what... I know Morrow, I think that he's playing on Panda Team right now, or at the very least he used to. I know that he, at the very least, is a very good player. Over here on the far west side, though, we do have Pros Do Snake, one of our PDS teams coming in from the far west. And right behind this going to be Team Speed in front of them. Le Motard as well as QC Respected going to be trailing them in, probably accidentally more than anything. But I'm a little bit worried about this hillside. This is actually one of the few spots in the game where there actually isn't a whole lot of cover, and the compounds are incredibly strong. So if they get caught out in the open soon, it's going to be bad news bears for them.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to end up getting pinched between 3 different teams as well if they're not careful. Meanwhile, we do have Glatis Array pushing across, trying to work their way into the circle, I think.
How much noise does swimming make? Koski doesn't know.
Much.
Oh no, this is really dangerous. I think Koski heard him, expects him to be on top of the bridge, but he doesn't know they're swimming across. He has no idea. Oh no, and Buyakai is on top of the bridge. He is nowhere near. He's still crouch walking. He has just accepted that Koski is going to die and is hoping that Ozzy and Huaith do not hear him on top of this bridge. Maybe he can find an extra down, but look, he's not even in the zone. So he's hoping at this point he can shoot in the back. He hears exactly where they are going. He knows where they are at. Is this going to work? The route is very clear that Huaith and Aussie should take into the zone. They're going to need to cross this road in a second, but they're actually going wide. They're
running along the beach.
So safe.
Yeah, it's a good call, too. They know that there's one of the teammates, or likely that there's a teammate around, and so they're going to choose the safe route and go through the hard cover.
These guys must play a lot of duos, because if this was a squad, you're going for the wipe. But in that situation, like, that's a duo, that's an experienced duo like play right there.
And the circle's not bad for them either. They're still going to be able to hang out on Castle Island for a little bit longer, maybe work their way in across the waters later on.
Big fight happening on the west side of the zone as Sixel and Baby Beans are forced to play outside of it. The zone chunking really dang hard. Sixel staying alive here. 1v1 happening as both players have lost their duo partners. Sixel now running out in the open. Baby Beans rezzing or medding just in time, and will be getting their 6th kill. Even if they go down here, they've already gotten 18 points to themselves. That's a 2nd place.
Yeah, they've done really well, and there's still 25 people alive, so there's still plenty of kills to be had, although they did lose the duo partner. Now it's to the point where they've got the points they need for the game. They don't have to play super passive and go for the placement points. They could try and just snake in a few more kill points and be set.
Over here, we see Panda Team trying to keep control of the south side of Volnar. There's a team to their north, but right now they're more worried about the Pros Don't Snake team. The story of Corey and Dirty Zin, who have taken the high ground here. A couple of frags could be dangerous, but that overhang actually saving their life there, bouncing up the top. NSG not going to be hitting that M24, and Magister losing his own peak battles as well. But oh no, getting shot in the back by Texas Queso. A little bit of help coming from inside Volnar, and as soon as Panda Team hear that, Magister Z is saying, no, I have no idea what's going on. I want to get out of here. And Richie and Queso, they're more than willing to allow that, take those kills away from PDS and potentially allowing them to get kills on Panda Team as well.
And Dirty Zin's going to disengage on this as well, try to wrap around outside of Volnova and maybe work his way through town. at a different position.
Life
it's a good
just-
idea because he's not going to push through both those teams.
Life just seems so much cheaper in duos. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary, I'm not going to lie. Over here, Thirst Aid on the far southwest, winning a small peek battle, trading a headshot for a body shot. That's good news all in all. But Baby Beans on the far southwest side, continuing to get kill after kill, taking down Iroh of all people, getting a ton of kills. Thirst Aid will be able to hear what's going on, knows that it's happening, but also being inside the zone, they're more than keen to just watch it. But still at the same time, Clusterfunk Esport, you can't forget it. They're doing such a good job just racking up kills this game. They're still in the top 15. They're not quite in the placement points yet, I don't think, or maybe they have like one, but it's not gonna be enough as Memo Effect does go down, leaving Baby Beans to potentially inherit this 1v2 fight. But, you know, they got the kill. They might not know exactly where Baby Beans is here, even if they're even here. They're actually gonna retreat back into the compound, allowing Baby Beans to just rotate in. But oh no, getting shot from the north from the Lucky Twig and the Burly Viking. Baby Beans is gonna be forced into some kind of fight.
Yeah, there is a rock that she or he can play a little further in, but it's going to be a tough push for sure. We do have Eva's trying to take down some shots onto Dark Dreams and friend Dark Dreams. They're in a compound, but it's a house, but it's a pretty open house. Half of it's been
It's missing.
Yeah.
It's a half of a house really here. They do have level 3 armor, which can oftentimes is mistaken for a large bundle of bricks attached to someone's head. Very hard to shoot through. It might as well be hard cover in some cases, but they will be able to hang on for a very long time. I'm just a little bit worried about them taking these peak battles, because one of the few advantages they have going into like the mid to late game is going to be having insane armor, insane damage reduction on any fights. But if they take too many fights before that, they might lose that armor, and with their they're not going to be able to reloot. That's only one small building. Looking at the zone though, forcing out Castle, forcing up the East Coast, and all these spots that are hosting difficult rotates, there's already teams in those spots. So those guys have a very, very hard journey ahead of them to make their way onto this side of the river.
Yeah, and they might be able to swim it late, but likely going to be spotted out. I would not want to be having to cross this.
Oh yeah, Expo and Ryozen are looking.
Look at that. Positioning themselves just ready for the crossers. And that's going to be like 3 or 4 kills minimum coming to them, because you might be able to make it across the castle bridge still, maybe, but that's still a lot of blue you're going to have to tank to get across it, and so likely you're going to be forced to swim.
Oh boy, Snake Extraordinaire Stixmo showing off his skills to us today. Him and Mert are going to be keeping their head down here in the low ground of the shoreline, but they will spot, and oh my god, 3 different sets of tracers heading toward, who is it, the Capitano. And he's going for a boat right now, but dude, I think that you're already done so. He's going to be going back saying, I made a mistake, but the zone's coming in. There's a lot of people that can see you, although one team did, no, they're not giving up actually. There's a ton of people that are trying to hunt down this player. It's just a question of who's going to get the kill, really.
Yeah, and the same on Huth and Ozzy. That's just going to be so hard for them to make it in. They do have another player.
Oh my god, Exo with the long-range spray on the M4. That was insanely impressive. They're not going to be aware of Murat Kanko and Buyakai, 2 different teams coming in now. But the Southwest is another fight breaking out as Baby Beans trying to make their way in. Checking up some kind of utility. I'm not sure exactly what kind of grenade. That was a smoke grenade, actually. Actually going for a pre-fire spray, it looks like, on the left side of that rock there. Trying to find him. And actually will blow off the head of Svanster.
Tearing it up. 7 kills for Baby Beans. 9 total for Superfunk Esports. And they're inside the circle. And they did alert Burly Viking and Friend to their position. But Baby's going to rotate around, get a different position, and kind of just hang out. I don't think there's any need to actually push into the city, so Baby Bean's position right now is actually pretty nice alongside that rock.
9 kills, 27 points.
Yeah.
They're tearing it up right now. A team I have not seen much of, didn't expect much of at all going into this, but definitely making their name known here today in Game 1 of the Sidekick Showdown. Looking over here, we have X-Evolution and Ryozen, or rather Ryozen and X-Evolution here. On the north side, probably the highest ground on this side of the zone, and they're definitely making people know about it, taking shots at whoever they can find here. The only problem is that all the people that are close to them, they can't find. They're taking shots across the zone at Digital Athletics, but they don't know that Murat Kanko is wrapping around to the north, and they don't know that Buyakai is sneaking around them to their west. So once again, a lot of foliage, a lot of hard cover on Vikendi, giving teams and players a lot of options going into this. Although, looking over here, this is one of the spots with the least cover in the entire zone.
It looks like Ryozen and X.
Oh yeah, check the north side.
Know where Murat Kanko is? They're running right up on him as if they do know, but Murat's just gonna hang out and wait for them to
wait for the end. I feel like this is not.
He does
good
have
for
the
him.
nade. If he gets it down, he might be able to chuck a nade right up after it.
They're looking for him. It's a tense situation for Kenko. He has no kills, so he really needs to get as far as he can, get as many placement points as he can to try and make this worth it for him. Ryozen might be looking down there soon. He sees him, and oh my god, he was ready for that one too. Only one peek was all it took for him to actually begin firing there. No re-peek required. Buyakai will hear that, realize how much of a dangerous spot this is, although he probably knows due to how much gunfire was emanating from it. On the southwest side, though, there's so many people here. That was like the only fight that's happening on the north, but in the southwest, there's about 3 or 4 teams that need to die for this to progress. Maybe means spotting someone up behind them. Winning the spray battle on Unlucky Twig will actually land a hedge on the burly Viking, but it actually will be these 2 players who take down the kill leader, the point leader of this game in 10th place. That's not going to be too many placement points. So now the leaderboard does open up for whoever gets in the top 3, I would say. Now has a chance to surpass the Clusterfunk esports team.
Yeah, I mean, 9 kills, phenomenal game. Made it into a top 10 situation as well. And honestly, got some good headshots out, went down fighting.
Lots of them.
But these teams, they don't have very many kills, man. They're, yeah, like you said, they're going to have to make it into a top 3 situation.
Oh, goodness. What's going on here? Buyakai finding Xvolution at close range. Ryozen nowhere nearby to assist in any potential trade. They were supposed to cover it, but I think Buyakai able to sneak in, clean up the north side. I think that he was actually forced to do this. I think that the time for sneaking is over. Going to be very hard to survive going into this. Ryozen is in the window, spotting out Buyakai. I'm pretty sure. I don't think that Buyakai knows he's being spotted, but realize that someone's in here. You're gonna be going for a couple of safety smoke grenades, and that's exactly what he's gonna need to do, especially if he wants loot, or quite frankly, if he even wants to disengage from this fight.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be careful and hope that Ryozen doesn't have a grenade, because that smoke is a target for one. We do have Mert, Gungor, and Sixmo pushing up to the compound as well. They have pretty much that entire northeast side for free at the moment, with the hillside blocking across the road and Ryozen's eyes being trained directly on Buyakai.
This is real dangerous for Digital Athletics because, yeah, they're in center zone, but with Ryozen and Co to their north and the cover they have right now, the cover they have is very one-dimensional. If someone comes up from an angle that they don't expect, someone's going to die, and it's going to be either Mert or Sixmo. And before that, Digital Athletics can react. That being said, they're in a really good spot. They're adjacent to the road, so the zone is going to continue centering on it. And now, with that combo not being in play anymore, they are ready for a gatekeep. If they don't get shot in the back, and they probably won't because Bankai and Dark Dreams combo are still in, they're in a really good spot right now.
And to make it across the road to actually shoot Sixmo and Mert, you have to open yourself up to so many angles, pretty much every angle. There's no hard cover on that road.
Far south side, Magister is going to be the first one in the game to make a play, moving up a little bit from his safe niche wall on the far south side of the zone. And every single spot here is occupied. He probably realized out of 10 players left alive, no one firing a single dang shot. It's either snakes or it's moths. And in this case, it's going to be one of these moths that are hiding inside the buildings, just kind of chewing on the furniture and the old clothes that were left behind. Eva's from Teletubbies trying to hold on for as long as it can. The shrink is now going to start, though. And Dirty's in. He actually might even be able to spot Magister Z, but on the north, another fight breaking out here as Digital Athletics begin their gatekeep onto Ryozen. Looks like he lost about half his HP. Buyakai, once again, being incredibly opportunistic, letting other people fight, gaining information from that, and trying to wrap around it. Even finding a rock that I believe is just barely in the zone.
Yeah, he's made his way in, I think, and he's honestly set himself up in a really good position to third-party potential fights if he chooses to do so. I think he might just do the opportunistic strategy and wait for a down to happen and then try to steal it.
Bankai's moving out, beginning to try and push. Ryusei NSG King getting taken up by Dark Dreams. High ground position inside the house, that Mark 14, so the crate guns finally coming into play here. Be able to get the finish onto NSG as well, leaving only one player from Panda alive. Meanwhile, Ryozen going up against Digital Athletics. He's able to take out Mirth, but the frag coming in, he didn't see it coming. Oh my god, left at 1 HP. Literally 1 before the stim healed him a little bit. Gonna be going for a frag. Does Sixmo have more juice in the tank? If he doesn't, then it's gonna be a real awkward fight. That being said, with that frag, he does buy time to get the res onto Mert and is now ready to peek, try and punish Ryozen for potentially moving. And then meanwhile, we do see Panda Team being finished off in the far south, so Lapid Gaming clearing up that side for themselves. Ryozen, though, trying to hang on, but this is just a hard battle to beat. And look at this, Mert Gungor even has his own grenade. This might be it. Going over the rock. Is it cooked?
Looks good.
Yup, that was cooked to perfection. A AAA grade steak served up by Digital Athletics, cleaning up the north side. Problem is that Lapid Gaming do have this bigger chunk of the zone, but they also have a solo behind them.
Yeah, I mean, Sixmo and Mert, they're going to be able to wrap along this northeast side and kind of just try and pick at shots at Dark or Bonkai. Bonkai and Dark, they do have some hard cover, like behind the rocks and the trees, but overall, I mean, they're going to be forced out of this position in the next phase, and Sixmo and
I'm not sure
Mert,
if they will, actually. I think this ridge is going to stay in for the most part. And I actually like it a lot because of that, because Digital Athletics can't really flank right now. They're going to be forced to win a peak battle when Lapid Gaming have this entire ridge to work with. I think that the only thing that can happen that can go wrong, and I think this is what Digital Athletics are hoping for, is that they see this 5 alive, they see the 2 for Bankai and Dark Dreams, and are saying, okay, where's the 5th player? We have cleared our entire side of the road. He's not on our side. Maybe we can wait and let them do something for us.
My money's on Sixmo and Mert. 100%.
Really? You
Yeah.
think that flank from Ives is going to be too scary?
Not only the flank from Ives, I just think their positioning is a little bit better.
Okay.
And it's going to lead into a better position for this next circle. But we'll see. Dark Dreams do have the level 3 gear plus the crate guns.
I can't tell if Ivis's position is actually in play here. I think that he actually will be allowed to sit inside this building for just a hair longer. And the fight will begin to pop off a little bit as we see Mert laying off a M4 burst toward Lapid Gaming. They will have to be forced to retreat behind this ridge. Mert with the M24. If they sell level 3 helmets, then this is exactly the gun that he does not want here. Not going to be able to get any one-shot headshots, but there it is, the new zone. It's across the road, and it's approximately at that rock that we see from Mert's point of view. Going to be trickling out some smokes. They realize they have to leave first. The zone does begin to move a lot of time here in what Digital Athletics is hoping is this going to be a 1v1 for them, with maybe a little bit of help from behind. And we see Ives as well beginning to prime his own grenades. Everyone just preparing for the chaotic smoke cloud that is going to be the zone. And oh no, getting spotted by Bankai. Ives, as he begins to leave this compound, but the zone coming in at his back, that is going to be a lot of damage. Does get a first aid kit off. But actually, the smoke clouds will prevent Bankai from spotting Ives move from his spot. Dark Dreams, meanwhile, losing in his 1v2 against Digital Athletics. And right now, the game is slowing down, forcing everyone to crawl in. And right now, with a height advantage, it's going to be really hard for Digital Athletics to see into the grass that Lapid Gaming is pouring on top of. That being said, Ives still alive. And honestly, from what I've seen, an incredibly strong clutch player. He still could play around this properly.
Yeah, I mean, if he's able to third party in, this is going to be great. He's going to have to worry about Bonkai coming on his flank right now. He does kind of look in that general direction. He's just going to make a smoke cloud or smoke wall all the way in, but the blue is slowly pushing on him. He is just going to play it nice and slow. And honestly, Sixmo and Mert, they're pretty dang close to the center, and so all these teams are going to have to just slowly push right to him.
Okay, Bankai absolutely heard Ives come here.
Yeah.
He definitely heard that, and he's also making a lot of noise prone. He just isn't quite shooting yet, and Bankai not willing to heal yet either, and actually is still crouch walking. No, he's making a little bit of noise here, so Ives might be able to hear him too, although smoke rays are still pretty loud. Sixmo now finding Dark Dreams, now turning this into a 2v1v1, and they also have the center zone. You were right, Charity. This is looking really hard for Lappa and Teletubbies to win, and look at this, even Ives crawling closer and closer. They're in the same smoke cloud. Oh my god, he sees him. Bankai begins to spray, but is not able to secure a kill, and oh my god, pulses are racing inside the south side, but both players making a quick truce. Bankai crawling for his life.
He's
getting
dead to
pinched
zone.
out by the zone. One more tickle to it. Digital Athletics beginning to spray in. They know the last player is in the smoke cloud. That's 2 are in the smoke cloud somewhere. They just gotta find him. Sixmo beginning to spray. Oh my god, shooting
so
right
close.
above the head of Ives. Bankai going down to the zone, and oh no. Okay, network led detected, but trust us, Mert was able to find Ives. And Digital Athletics in one of the longest end games I've ever seen, clutching out that victory with 6 kills.
Oh my gosh. Them crawling just right next to each other or running into each other. Yeah, that was intense. Ryzen coming in strong, picking his team up 5 kills with Exvolutions, 2 for 7 total. I mean, that's with a 4th place, I think it was with. That was a really good place from them, but can't take anything away from Mert and Sixmo, 6 kills and the dub.
That's 48 points. That's a big lead.
Great way to start a 4-game series.
Yeah, and honestly, at that point, well, you can play conservative, but with how much a first place is worth, you kind of gotta go for it, I feel like. That's 4 kills on its own. That's 2 entire fights, team fights you have to win. That's really hard to get unless your name is Huaytan Ozzy and you hide in a shack with the biggest brain play I've ever seen. that was really smart, though. Just to talk about that a little bit, it was really smart because the doors were closed. It was just obvious, hide in the shack. Even like walking, you shoot him. But the cool part was how, I think it was Ozzy, who was in a spot where he could quietly watch the shack entrance. And that was the really cool part, I think.
Yeah, I agree, because after the first teammate opens the door, he's going to get down and flushed immediately. But that second teammate's going to come up and try to peek around the door into the shack slowly. He's likely not just going to rush straight in, which means the player 2 is able to enter the game perfectly and just shoot him in the back. No worries at all.
Overall, though, that was a really surprising game to see. It's like on the south side. I'm glad that they had time to play on the far south end, because there was a lot of things that needed to be like figured out there. Like 2 or 3 solos hiding or proning inside the outskirts of Volnova. I think we saw a guy in the grain tower, in the grain mill on the top of the hill. I think that was Ivis, who was able to crawl in a little bit closer into that shed. But there was a lot of people alive at the end of the game there.
Yeah, especially in duos. I was hoping we'd get to see a Volnova ending with players running on the roofs and stuff, but unfortunately it did kick just right outside of Volnova. Still a very interesting ending, having 5 different teams up into the final circle, or 5 different duos. We had Evis, and then I guess just 3 duos into the final. But either way, it makes for a pretty dynamic gameplay, because honestly, that could have went. Whatever team ended up taking 3rd place, Bankai and Friend,
Lapa Gaming.
Yeah, that could have easily went in their favor as well. The circle was just if they were forced to move just a little bit before Sixmo and Friend had to move, and Sixmo and Friend were able to easily smoke their way in, and they didn't have to worry about the guy at the top of the hill as much. And so,
you're right.
Either way, it makes for a very dynamic ending.
Yeah, and that's what the Athletics had. They how'd they even get there? Because I think that for the most part, they were just kind of maintaining their presence quietly on that shoreline.
They had a compound for a while along that shoreline, and then once that compound was forced out, they just played the shoreline. And Ryozen, he was busy trying to defend Boyukai, so he didn't get to third party any of the fights that Sixmo and Merkangor found themselves in.
Yeah, it's so different from squads, because in squads you're trying to control so much more space, but partially because of Vikendi you just can't do that as well. But and also because it's duos, like the area of influence you have is so small in some cases, to the point where there's someone like right next to you and you might not even know about it. Especially on the southwest side, we saw Baby Beans just trying to sneak their way in, but getting shot from one angle, you made them unpeak, but then their duo comes over and shoots you in the back as you're trying to come in. There's just a lot of people and hiding in almost every nook and cranny. It seems really hard to play in.
Yeah, honestly though, I mean, we saw it multiple times that game. I can think of one when a team was trying to push inside Volnova, and they're engaged with a team that's just hanging out along the edge.
Yeah, I think that was Wave Check.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, Wave Check. All of a sudden, third parties it and takes down one of the members, and all the teams just disengage right after that. They're like, here we go. We do have the scores updated. Unsurprising to everyone, Digital Athletics, first place, 48 points, tearing it up. But Ryozen able to get the 7 kills, finished in 4th place, but the 7 kills able to push them all the way up into 2nd, just by 1 point though, with Superfunk closely behind them at 33. 10th place and 9 kills, that was Baby Beans. So the 9 kills, even though they went out in 10th, the 9 kills made a huge difference, pushed them all the way up to 3rd. And then we have Gladys Array Yellow at 23 points, 7 kills in 14th place. So, I mean, what I'm seeing here is that, honestly, kills matter for a lot more than placement. And don't get me wrong, as you can see, Digital Athletics coming in first with the 6 kills is a huge bump. But the teams, finishing in 10th and 14th, honestly, not that good at placements to finish in for duos, but 9 and 7 kills, it's a good chunk.
Push them up. Yeah. So we'll be seeing if they can continue that. Honestly, from Superfunk, they did make a really big play. Like they just sent it. They had a dossier. They just went for the zone, and that was a really big risky play. But after they were allowed to play on foot, they seemed incredibly strong.
Yeah. Baby Bean hit some great sprays. The 3x M4.
3x suppressed M4.
Yep.
People are getting really good at this game. It's scary. I remember recently looking at before we started playing today a couple clips from Iro, just 4x spraying across the zone. I'm just like, what? I can't do that with a 1x. Like,
and that's one thing that I love about Survival Sundays and then the Sidekick Showdown as well, is that it's a lot of EU players as well, and I'm not as familiar with the EU scene, so for all I know, these could be tier 1, tier 2 players that are just absolutely phenomenal, like Baby Bean. I mean, I'm not, as far as I'm aware.
They're Canadian.
Yeah, okay. There we go. I haven't seen Baby Bean perform before, and coming out strong for the first game that I've seen. Like, I'm a fan now.
Mechanics look very strong. Movement as well.
And that person set the bar up here, so now this next game they got to step it up.
Bring it, Canada.
I want to see at least double digits on the kills.
Yeah.
Because we know you're capable of it, and so it's just a great thing about the Survival Sunday and the Sidekick Showdown is that, again, it lets those people that might not have had a chance to showcase their skills actually get out there and tear it up.
Just casually remove 1/6 of the lobby for us there.
Yeah, right. Like, no problem. I got this, guys.
Win 5 2v2s while you're at it. Just find a really popular shed. Take some notes from Galactus.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah. Well, before we go too much further, we do have a tournament that will be occurring. I think it's tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST. It'll be the first event that we'll be doing with the new tournament feature in our app. 50 duos on Sandhawk. It'll be FPP, 3 rounds, and I think it's just the prize pool of $50 being split up among the top 3 teams. So if you guys are interested in playing some decent stakes, if you have nothing going on your Friday afternoon, then go ahead and check it out. Met with some Dosh.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely better than playing pubs, in my opinion. I'm a big fan of playing pubs, and so if you're just getting... Anytime you add a little bit of the competitive side to the game, I think it's going to be a little bit more fun. And for me personally, like, I definitely enjoy it.
I think that's one of the big things that PUBG really needs as well. When you look at like a lot of other BRs, like there's almost always something to play for within the game. But when it comes to PUBG itself, if you're playing pubs, especially with like
drive 500 kilometers,
in a missions, the flare guns, it's like, all right. So they're going for a very, very casual experience here, which is fine. But there's a lot of people that want to play for more than just that.
Yeah.
And number one, hopefully we can provide that, but also something within the game, like some sort of competitive mode, I think would be really nice.
Yeah, I completely agree. Hopefully, I'm sure they've heard it many a times, and so maybe it's something we'll see in the works.
It's not as easy as it sounds, obviously. Like, they're gonna split their player base. They gotta pick and choose what game modes they're gonna have. They already have TPP, FPP, and then 4 different queues. So that's like that's 1 queue split into 8 potential queues, which is a lot.
Makes for some long queue times.
Yeah, hugely segmented player base right there. But in a comp mode, it'll just add more of that. So if there's a comp mode, then it removes choice at somewhere else in the line. So I understand why it isn't there, and also because up until the Korean comp settings were used by the North Americans, comp settings meant different things to everyone.
Yeah. Depend on what region you're playing in.
Asians, a lot of Asian groups still played third person until very, very recently, actually, like a couple of months ago, around when we took the Korean rule set for loot, score, and circles. There it is. And even then, it wasn't 100% the same because Koreans, they had the first circle visible while the plane was still in the air. So there's still a lot of differences within comp. But
that's a massive difference in my opinion.
Yeah, that's
like
huge.
That's absolutely
that's
huge.
Like hot drop the same compound difference.
Yeah, exactly. Because in the North American scene and the European scene, everybody has like set drops already, and ones that have been developed through weeks of painstaking practice and scrims, and teams having to duke it out for one city over a week's period.
Yeah.
And then those drops get established for actual competitive play, and each team will likely know where every other team is dropping on the board ahead of time. But whenever you introduce that circle that doesn't show until the plane path or the plane starts going, that goes out the window real quick, and all of a sudden now half the lobby is wanting to land inside that circle. Half the lobby is going to try and come in late, and
rather than
changes up the game entirely.
Rather than having a set drop location, it's like, what quadrant of the zone do you drop in? Are you a team that hot drops in the center compound every time? Are you a team that drops on like the northeast side of the circle? It'll probably turn to that more than anything if I'm thinking about that. That's the only thing I can imagine that you'd want to do if you're like trying to establish a meta within the scene.
Drop dead center, punch it out.
Oh yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, no, that's a legit strategy actually. Like fist fights are a very real thing in the Asian League, and so
I'm not sure if they still use the settings. I don't know exactly what international leagues look like. I know what NADU looks like, and I vaguely know what OC looks like because they're also using the same rule set as NADU. But I'm pretty sure that more and more regions are beginning to absorb and use the NA/EU/Korean, whatever you want to call it, the current comp rule set. So I think that, as that becomes more widely accepted, that when we look at the game itself, that's going to be a lot easier to just implement a comp setting as long as you're willing to remove player choice from some other aspect.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to take some more learning and some more tweaks because as it stands right now, like I think the circle settings could be changed a little bit more depending on the map. But overall, it's definitely going in the right direction, and I love it from a viewer and a caster's perspective, and especially as a player's perspective. It makes the game a little more fun whenever you base things on kills rather than just who can survive longer, in my personal opinion.
This is the second week in a row. In the SSL, we looked at the same guy. You got preferences, Dan? In what you're showing us? Oh my god, I think this is Buikai, from IG Sangal with his...
it's a good-looking outfit.
Good-looking outfit.
Yusugo.
Oh, it's Yusugo. Okay, he's got the kilt.
I'd rock it.
The children tank top.
It looks
oh my
good
god,
to work
he's
out
even wearing jester shoes.
I bet he runs really fast in those.
What am I looking at?
And he's obviously not going to get sunburned. He's got the face mask and the lampshade.
And that's a
plus
problem.
The sunglasses.
That actually is a problem in these snowy environments, man.
Yeah.
That's real. That's weird and that's real. Sun reflecting off of snow and giving you sunburn. That's actually a thing. Surprised me when I learned about that. Looking over here, though, we'll be seeing what happens as the flight plan is going to be going south to north. And I think that a lot of people were caught off guard by phase 2 specifically. So I think that we're going to be seeing
hard south shift.
Yeah, and how fast it went on the north side because of how hard it shifted. So I wouldn't be surprised to be seeing teams react to that by trying to drop in compounds a little closer to the center of the circle. Yeah. The center of the map, rather.
It's kind of interesting because that plane path was pretty far north as well. And so for it to shift so far south and finish south, a lot of those teams had to rotate a good amount. And fortunately, it's only a 6x6 map. And so it's a little bit bigger than Sandhawk, but a little bit smaller than Erangel and Miramar. And so the teams don't have to rotate as far, even on a very hard shift. And so
no one's dropping on the flight plan. Villanova is empty. Winery is empty. And Castle has one team, and everyone is going
extremely surprising
far. Well, I think it's because no one wants to take that early fight that might force them outside of the zone and force them to show up late in the second one if the same hardship happens. Looking over here,
they're gonna
Dark
get the
Dreams and Bankai are doing it again. They're looking for a car. Bankai's on the far south side, maybe looking for some frags, and Dark Dreams just
he got a card.
Oh my god, they're gonna do it again. They're getting away with murder.
I can't believe there's only one.
And Ryozan and Sheezer are fighting over Prishkova again. This garbage is nothing. I hate this town. It's so popular in pubs. It has two teams fighting for it here as well instead of Loot Cave. That's gonna be. Last time it was Exvolution and Ryozan that won it, but that was also a 2v1 in favor of these two players. So we'll be seeing with Sheezer now that he has backup from Black if he'll be able to hold on to Prishkova as we do begin to see a bit of a meta starting to form, weirdly enough.
Surprising. I mean, especially over Peshkova, it not the worst town to loot, honestly.
I think it is.
If
you're calling it a town?
Okay, not the worst big compound, but for duos with the improved loot, I could see it being viable. They're going to get what they needed. But for 4 people, it's definitely not big enough to host. Yeah, you're going to end up fighting. I mean, they do have kind of a nice even split with Black and Friend on the north side and then Ryozan on the south side. But overall, I'd much rather be in Dark Dreams' position.
The Mark 14.
Yeah, the Mark 14 with the level 3 gear. Ozzy taking down Azaka Boars once again.
Same compound.
Same compound, yes. They wanted revenge. Morpheus is still hanging out there. I wonder if he has a weapon and he's able to defend himself, or maybe
barely. He is a
yeah,
3
he's
vest.
got the ump.
3 vests and an ump, so as long as he doesn't get headshot, it'll be
He's got
okay.
dream.
But this is a lot of people in this lobby that are definitely aiming for the head because they're good players. So a little bit worried about them, and just the gear disadvantage coming into play a lot here. Huete going to be probably a frag here to try and finish the job. Going into the window, Morpheus is not going to get damaged by that. Trying to be quiet here, but walking around, standing up, like slow walking is still quite loud. So they probably still have a pretty good idea around where he's at. They also have both angles cut off here, so he can't leave this building without getting spotted here.
Yeah, I mean, Huete is not watching the angle, and Ozzy doesn't really have an angle. So Morpheus could reposition, but I think Morpheus might just be hanging out waiting for them to push.
Even if he can, he doesn't think he can.
Yeah.
So that's the really big thing that's coming into play here. And there's just not much that's going in favor of me. Actually, even leaving Ozzy to himself, it's like, okay, you just watch him. I'm just going to go loot. And that's probably going to be okay, as Morpheus has just accepted that he's going to be sitting in this closet for now. And Ozzy, meanwhile, just kind of playing in this window, playing for audio, trying to hear if Morpheus leaves. We'll be coming back to that later, as we do see inside Goroka a pretty big fight happening between the Burly Viking as well as Digital Athletics. Lucky Twig in this building getting pushed by, I believe that was Sixmo. That was Mert Gungor, who's right under him. Actually going for a push here, as after he heals Mert, here's Mert going for the stim, is not going to be able to prevent that. But Sixmo on the far west side of town, he begins smoking Mert, realizing that he's going to want to get out of here real soon. It's going to be really hard to position these smokes correctly, though, so that Lucky Twig can't see him from above. He's going to be going for it anyway, using the building's overhang as cover. Sees Viking over there, but I think not getting covered back with numbers coming from afar. Mert landing a headshot that might be exactly what he needs. The kill, we see Morpheus going down, so Zaka Bor is losing once again for that compound. And now that he got a little bit of damage on Burly Viking, it looks like that Mert's a little bit more okay with staying here. He knows Viking has to go for a heal, going for that free fire spray like a buzzsaw. Just going left to right, able to take that one player down. But from above, the Burly Viking able to have his teammate come and help out, and actually going for the flush on Mert before going for the res, leaving Sixmo for revenge.
Get him,
Might
Sixmo.
be able to hear him. The res is not coming out yet. Lucky Twig knows backup will be coming soon.
He jumps over!
No! No! You know what? If they used that feature, we'll call it, where you're allowed to like look around after you're dead. 6 mil when you die.
Where like it goes up in the air and just as soon as you die, if you don't hit the spectate button, you kind of have that camera angle right above your dead body. Not a bad idea. Could
obviously wasn't used there though.
I don't think he necessarily meant to jump up and over the railing. I thought he was going to jump up on top of the railing and try and peek over. Overshot it just a little bit.
Just a tad.
Fell down to his dad. That's unfortunate. They did make a lot of points in the first game though, so. I don't think it's going to be as detrimental as one of the teams that maybe what was the team that literally just went out in the same compound 2 games in a row?
Zaka Bor. No, speaking of what, unfortunate, we're actually seeing Team Almost Tanaka losing his life real early from a couple of guys that they're not even looking for a fight. They were just wandering around saying, is that a guy? Shot him in the back of the head and walked away. Leopard Gaming, though, getting into a fight against Peshkova team, they didn't actually start in a fight here. So the 2 teams that looted that horrible farm village did not fight each other. So they're not working with much loot right now. Expo and Rios and aren't. And that's going to allow Dark Dreams, with how much pressure they're able to put out with their high-value crate guns and their level 3 armor, to just walk on top of them. Dark Dreams got hit a little bit, but easy fight for Dark Dreams. But looking over here, My Ridge Moron, Black, and Cheezer, they heard it. And, with how aggressive their team name is, it looks like they're not really willing to claim their territory as much. All right, I see how it is.
Well, they're not fighting over a ridge, so I guess
that's right.
That would make sense. I like the team name. I'm excited to see them put it into use. But the rest of the map, honestly, looking pretty clear. No other contestations going on. The circle is closing in, though, so that boiling point is getting ever so closer. And as soon as I say that, Baby Beans wanting some more kills, not happy with the 0 that they've put up so far in game 2, so pushing up onto Sheezer's building. Sheezer not aware at all. Might hear the footsteps here soon.
I think that they heard the footsteps and they're just like, all right, I don't want to deal with this too much right now. They hear Sheezer. They don't know where Black is. Black is actually the next combat over, but Sheezer can almost certainly hear the footsteps of Superfunk Esports as well. I'm a little bit worried about this reaction. It looks like that Black from MRM is not going to be linking up with Sheezer. I'm not sure if he's even in the game. Like, he's literally stationary. Black is, that is. So Sheezer might be left here to take a 1v1.
Had to use the restroom.
He's AFK. He's certainly AFK.
And Sheezer's honestly still unaware that there's people inside the compound, or at least on the outside wall, getting way too close to Baby Beans.
He knows. He knows. He heard it, and he's like stopping, saying, "Wait, did I hear that?" And yeah, that was from the Clusterfunk who walked around, but walking around there, they knew you were there. They heard you walk in. So trying to yourself, if you're Sheezer, creep outside. Very, very dangerous play to go for, and we'll get immediately punished for that. Now Black actually back at his keyboard, realizing his friends are bleeding on the floor, full of lead, is going to probably react by not going that way.
Yeah, I don't think there's any hope on him getting that res there. Snips Zeko.
Oh, he sees him. He's
spotting out Sixel and Socio. Actually, maybe not. Yeah, the foliage did block the view. Baby Beans does finish Sheezer in the kill feed there. Zeko trying to spot out the shack.
He's trying to see if someone's in there. Okay, so Kark saw him, but Snips was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, he blows his head off. It's like, "Oh, I see what you're saying now." All right, Kark's able to knock that, and actually Snip going for a push around the left. Kark's is not with him. So this is a 1v1 he's breaking out here if he goes for a fight, but yeah, you're right. The nades are coming out. They didn't actually go to the shed. This is really dangerous to Socio.
Oh, that's a good nade, too. Look at that.
Oh, my God. It's going to read down Socio and getting shot in the butt as he goes around the corner. That was a brilliant rat from Teletubbies.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that they didn't actually crawl all the way into the shack for the safe res and opted to go for the res on the outside of the shack, opening up the grenade.
I feel like both of those plays just kill you. Like, if you get down that 1v2, it's like, what do you even do?
Yeah, there's not much. And they wrapped it perfectly. You saw Karks run off to the south while Snip went to the north. So even if they didn't get the finish on the grenade.
Oh, they have no idea.
Yeah, that would have been tough.
Mara has no idea that No is in this compound. No. He's jumping around, wandering around.
They might spot Equinty God.
Mara might.
South.
Nope, he has no idea. They're just jumping around, and they definitely are spotted right now. Maro taking a good chunk of damage. This is going to be major team. Actually, this is Marcelic now we're seeing right here from Bonzo team playing. I don't think this was his teammate in game one. And Marcelic, a very strong player, very aggressive player, going to be looking for No's head as he wraps her way around the left side of this corner, going for a double peek around this corner. This is really smart. Mara going for the trade, is able to get it. Marcelic does go down the process, but look, Equintagod, despite knowing that these players were here, was actually trying to hold the angle from afar, and that's going to be hugely detrimental as Marcelic is going to be easily able to get rezzed, and No going to be losing a lot of time here as Marcelic's going to be full HP. Maro's going to be okay as well, and Quinta got caught out in the open, did not even have time to go to his POV as he gets mowed down by Maro.
Yeah, and good shots coming out from Maro and Friend there. They got the trade on the first knock, and that essentially won them the fight because then they were able to get the res before the other enemy was even close to being in that fight, honestly.
Phase 2 did pop. Looks like a lot of teams reacting to Phase 2, but trying to have cars in play. And once again, the purple will be a huge factor in it. We're seeing that new, not UAZ vehicle. Oh. Okay, that was Ivis. Okay, sorry. I thought took a second for it to blow up, but no, it was Ivis who was able to land that G3 shot. That not UAZ going up in flames. Pros do snake. Well, you have a lot of time to snake while you're prone on the ground, charred to a crisp, I suppose.
That he does. The new circle is pretty similar to the previous one as well. It could shift super hard south and end on this exact same spot. Unlikely, but these teams able to find something similar to the last game.
And, I think a lot of these teams that went out early, like the bad boys, are actually the boys. I like that because it's DA and Ira's name. And then boys. But they're definitely looking to play better than they did the first game. This is a team that I know is capable of it. Specifically, Ira, one of the simply put strongest mechanical players I've ever seen. That being said, that reputation was definitely true a couple months ago. They'd give a lot of other teams a lot of time to also improve. And when it comes to mechanics, Teletubbies, the team they're fighting right now, absolutely rivals Iro.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen from Snip and Friend, especially Snip, they could come out on top of this fight. 100%.
That Iroh's doing. I love this. Like he never just moves out on his own. It's always a move and a lean, trying to milk as much value as he can from Piku's advantage. So smart from him. We haven't even seen him do anything yet besides like miss a couple of bolt shots, but even his movement is just indicative of an amazing player.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you could tell a lot about a player from the way he peaks, and Iroh's definitely a good player. Yeah, right.
Getting pretty close to speed here, though. This is gonna be pretty scary. QC respected does hear it. Oh no, this is really scary. And by scary, I mean death-inducing for Mutant Gaming as Da Vinci goes down. Nothing to say about that. And Lautas trying to use the low ground and the wall to get around this. QC will not be able to do much about it for now, but Lee Motard able to get 2 big shots onto Lautas as he keeps running. Spotting through the window, doesn't quite land the kill shot. Both players going for a chase. One more will do it. Can he get to the hard cover? The answer is no, and Speed will continue their speedy reign of... They killed him. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't have anything else planned. They're dead. They're dead.
They are down and out. We do have Teletubbies getting in a fight with Thirst Aid, taking one of them down, Svanster, and eliminating him, leaving just Not White Wolf up.
I didn't get that pun until now.
Not White Wolf is in a pretty hard position here. He's going to have to get it down onto either Eva Sifrin and then effectively work his way through the next one as well. It's not looking good for him.
That's really good that we just spotted the player going for a flank, using these trees as cover. Oh my god, Kleiman hitting a couple of really nice. Yeah, we saw him make magic happen as a duo in a squad game with that Mini 14. And oh my god, look, another shift. This is another shift that goes east across the river. This is a hard shift across the river. There's almost no one here on this side. A lot of players going to be forced to make some really hard decisions here in Phase 3. But right now, the combo near the river, Galactus Array losing, to say early on. Murat Kanko needs to find a knock right away. But only IG Sengal's little heads popping up over those walls, getting the flush on Akise. And the flank onto Murat Kanko. He's at 1 HP. Goes for a really nice play there actually on the side, medding on top of this roof, but that's not gonna be enough. Actually, no, he's just free-firing. What is Koski doing? He has no idea where he's at, but it's not gonna be enough. Some really tricky plays there from Murat Kanko that could be usable later on, but not time to make it work this time. Looking over here back inside Podvaso, though, on the far east side, Maro and Major Team trying to gatekeep these players coming from the side, but making a pretty good show of it, actually, as it was Baby Beans they just killed in a neutral 1v1 fight. Definitely a very strong play from what we saw last time. Clusterfunk smoking the hell out of this bridge, trying to make sure his crossing is safe, but by smoking and not pushing through that smoke, he is allowing Maro and co to get themselves rezzed up, and that's going to be a lot of time lost here. Meanwhile, Goody trying to track Cluster through the smoke, but can't quite see where he went at that point, and the bigger problem is that Marcelic and Maro, they got healed up, they got rezzed up, and they're ready for some revenge.
Yeah, and the nade coming out, finishing off Baby Beans, leaving just Clusterfunk up, trying to reposition as well. He's inside, nope, he's outside the building, going back to the safety net of the south side. It's a good call from him. I'm surprised the third party's not coming out from Goody.
Yep, Clusterfunk's out. The carry is dead. Long live the team.
He's safe now, though. He's inside circle almost. He's got himself a good house to hold up in. And
ooh, hey, what's up, Evasion?
Ooh, Evasion coming along the frozen river there, pushing his way across the bridged area. And
is Mime dead?
Right into Marslek. Mime, I do believe we saw him go down and out earlier, yes.
So Evasion and Mime play a ton of duos games together. We haven't quite seen them make huge plays today, which is a little unfortunate to see, because I know they're very, very strong duo players. Struggling a little bit in squad games, but also, I guess, just new. They're not really good at dealing with these new things. Vikendi, they probably don't have too much experience here either. Looking over here back in Podvosto, dry impact. They know someone's up here. The 3x UMP. Gooty's trying to make it work. Tasnadir didn't see Guti, but it doesn't matter as he's able to take down Gooty's teammate, the Capitano, leaving Zimtastic and Tasnadir here on the high ground. They know he's
They're
close.
Both priming
They're
the
tracking
nades.
him.
Oh,
they
no.
can hear him creeping. Oh, my God. Yeah. Checkmate.
Oh, he about blew himself
he
up.
almost killed himself. I think almost really fired himself there. Meanwhile, more underhanded grenades as we do see the Clusterfunk baiting the window jump, but no. Mara's having none of it. They hear him up there. They know he's still up here. Going for the peek, and yep, the two-man peek coming out as Maro and Marcelic clearing up the east side, but Zimtastic and Tasnator did hear that. They're now crossing the bridge. In the meanwhile, My Ridge Moron trying to make his way out of Cement Factory. Only 18 alive. So many people died trying to cross that river.
Yeah, and it's not done yet. The circle is almost closed in,
Oh,
cutting off that west side.
Dewad.
But yeah, Dewad, Texas Queso, Koski, they have a very, very, very hard push ahead of them.
At least there's no one else here, including his probably dead teammate.
Yeah. I mean, he could come swimming in late. There's not very many teams on that east side of the water that's really gatekeeping the water at all. There are some that have the potential to, but I mean, I guess it's Iroh and Memo. Really, do you have Bonkai and Dark Dreams, but they're not looking towards the water? Well, now they are. Okay, so
Bonkai and Dark Dreams, actually.
Yeah, this is gonna be
They got
hard.
Luke Cave again. They have a compound and zone again. It's not going to be that good if it hard shifts east, and it might. That's a really, really difficult terrain, road to cross here for them. But right now, they're just not contested at all, and it's looking like they have a position that'll allow them to get into the late game 2 games in a row. Once again, living up to the reputation they've created for themselves in last week's SSL.
yeah. Ooh, nice shots coming out from Marsalek, taking down Tazinator, leaving just Zimtastic up. Morrow is off to the north side, wrapping around, trying to get a different angle, or rather just make it into the zone. Marsalek took down Bonkai off in the distance as well. Looks like they're not too interested in pushing this down right along their outside ridge.
This guy's nutty game sense. So just take a break in this fight where he heard a player below him to just ping someone's head off with a mini. Morrow will begin making their way in. The team to their south that was gatekeeping them have it down. The team next to them also have it down. So they will be able to use the time they have bought to get a little bit closer to the zone, and that was going to be pretty valuable time as the combat that they were in is not in play. Meanwhile, in Cement Factory, Black shooting Karks
Nice
in the
shots.
back with a suppressed mini. There's so many buildings here. They have no idea
where'd that
where
come
those
from?
shots came from.
The suppressor
and
on
Snib
top of
Zeko, nowhere near Karks as well. He is not happy to go for that res because he also has no idea where those shots came from. Just sitting in the low ground, sitting in a little foxhole, I can only imagine. Meanwhile, though, major team gonna be pushing Dark Dreams. This is a big fight to happen. Oh my god! Marcelic accidentally treating the grenade like a piece of candy, and Morrow having no idea. Oh my god, he had no idea what's going on at all as his teammate gets flushed through the smoke, trying to hide in the smoke. The X-rays on right now, so it doesn't look that thick, but no, these guys cannot see through this at all. Another smoke gonna be popping here, but
nice.
Morrow got trapped on those logs, fell down, jump fired his M4 and got the kill anyway, taking down Lappa Gaming. In 9th place, I think it was.
He still has Tazinator and Zimtastic pushing up. They're trying to get the nade inside the shack, not able to, but they do have it practically surrounded on this northwest side. And then you have the team off to the east, gatekeeping the actual entrance. So this is not looking good for Morrow. Morrow's going to have to get the down on one of them soon, but we've seen him do it before. He does have some shots out onto Zimtastic, took him down to 78 HP. Still plenty of health to fight with, though.
Just shooting the smoke, they can definitely hear him. Trying to put the peak battles,
nice.
Zimtastic getting a lot of damage. Morrow has no rest for the Wicked. Wicked he is indeed after getting so many shots. So many
Nice.
kills. A great play, taking and flushing Tazinator, going for a push. Zimtastic makes it work. That's almost impossible to Morrow to win. It's insane that he even got a single kill out of it, though. So great job to him, getting 7th place and getting knocked out here in Phase 5.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go down and out, getting a kill right before it happens is definitely the way you want it to go down. And great plays from Morrow, able to prone it out and get the shots in on the final player that he needed. So close to getting the 2-piece as well. He only needed 2 or 3 shots to connect him, but unfortunately he was looking at the wrong direction. I think he thought he was going to come around the backside.
I think that Black ended up getting res, but the player who... No, he was the one who did the shooting in the back. No, the guy, actually, the team he shot at, Teletubbies, went down.
They're down,
chaos as well. Meanwhile, the big team to look at right now, going later into this game, is going to be Du Bois.
Yeah,
On the far south
agree.
side. The bad boys, rather. Iroh and Memo, they don't have any kills right now, but they're completely uncontested with having great sight lines around them in this compound, and they're probably the most centered as well, besides potentially Dewad. They have a really good spot, and they're not going to leave anytime soon.
Yeah, and I mean, 2 things that's funny to know. I mean, one, they're teammates with the team that won the previous game, Sixmo and Merc Gungor. So maybe we're going to see a back-to-back actual team win, even though it's in duos.
Uh-oh.
And then the second thing, Dewad was on the west side of the water. He was actually able to swim across and make it in. He's got himself 3 kills, got himself level 3 gear. This could be a dang good game for Dewad, especially if he's able to snake it in, a top 3 situation and pick up another kill or 2. That's a lot of points to secure yourself as a solo.
Looking like these teams in the Far East are looking like they're actually being aggressive. The best offense is the best defense, and they don't want to get shot in the back as they make their way in here. NSG does spot the third party from Mastermind coming in over the hill to their north. And they'll be, actually, I don't think that's Mastermind, it's a different team. The frag coming over the rocks, both of them detonating slightly prematurely, just cooked a little bit too long.
So close,
but
though.
is the second one gonna work?
Oh, no!
Oh my god, once again, cooked a little too long. That could have landed NSG's feet. Didn't matter though, as Chris is able to get the down here. Magister Z now stuck in a 1v2, but now the third party coming in from the bad boys in the far southwest might provide Panda Team Bravo enough time to get the res onto NSG, maybe stabilize off of this, but no, they're going in right now. This might be Cotton's last frag. They certainly brought a lot today. Chucking it over the rock.
It was,
if it bounced on the ring, it could have been something, but Cottonmouth getting that first down on Magister Z, his teammate going for the flush. This is really dangerous. The zone's at his back. He has very low HP. Oh, he knows SG is in the smoke, but just getting shot because he's making too much noise around here. Pre-firing through the smoke, but it's just not quite finding that down.
Yeah, I mean, the pre-fire is risky. It alerts this. Yeah, okay, there we go. Got the headshot. The pre-fire is risky because it alerts your enemy as to your exact position, and they might be able to pre-fire back. But realistically, there's only a few spots that person could be hanging out inside that smoke, and it's likely going to be up against that rock.
It is very impressive to be able to find him in this unfamiliar geometry.
We have Memo Effect trying to get the flank onto Chris, and Cottonmouth went down and out, so it's just Chris here.
No
this could
way.
be. Oh, I was about to say, bounces off the tree and gets him. That'd be nice. But Chris is trying to get the heal. Memo Effect is close enough to get a good spray in. He's got the M24 out. Chris is going to have to make his way inside the circle. Yeah, okay, Cottonmouth is actually down. He's down and out
that Chris doesn't have more. Okay, he does have some more smoke grenades. Cottonmouth is forced to crawl in the open. He's actually, it looks like he's playing this as a solo, quite frankly. Not even attempting to go for the res onto Cotton. Beginning to get chunked by the zone, trying to crawl his way in, but the smoke that he tossed was not quite far enough. Meanwhile, actually, as soon as we go away from his head, gets blown off here, and Bad Boys taking down Cotton and Chris on the far east side.
Two
solos. Claiming the low ground at this point. The Bad Boys know exactly where they are. They get fed zone once again. There's 4 alive. No one's made any noise. They've cleared the east. They've cleared the north. There's only 1 spot left.
Yeah, and honestly, Zimtastics is running.
Oh, he's
right
going.
He's
going. We're gonna see a fight. D-Wad's maybe gonna get his last kill of the game on the far west side, and the shots ring out, and he does indeed get it.
There it goes down to the final 2 teams: D-Wad versus DA Iro and Memo Effect. Memo and Iro trying to push in, close the gaps, close the angles, getting the nades primed, ready to throw it out. Iro throwing the distraction smoke off to the south, hoping
D-Wad. Is that what that is?
Yep.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, chuck the smoke off to the south. D-Wad's going to focus his efforts towards that. Memo Effect pushes on the north, and Iro just holds the angle.
Oh, you saw D-Wad. The second he peeked over that ridge, Iro just saw him right away. But now trying to aim at his previous spot. But Memo Effect is going to be there on his north flank, covering those angles. And there's 3 alive. There are 2 of them. They know this player is the last one they need to find. Do they have level 3 helmets? The Bad Boys?
Level 2.
No, so this is winnable for D-Wad.
And they do spot D-Wad out just now. Oh, no. Well, it doesn't look like they did. D-Wad effectively wrapping all the way around. He is on the northwest side now. He's got himself some hard cover, but he is going to be forced into playing edge. This is phase 7, though, so he's got 1 more phase afterwards. If he can get the pick onto either Memo or Iro and even the playing field to a 1v1, it'd be really good for him, but he's going to have some impressive shots.
I think
Memo
that he
and
needs
Iro
to
aren't going to
play
stop
sooner than later, because there's only so many places he can be once the zone pops, and they're going to be, all right, just chucking your frag grenades. We throw our smokes as distractions, but we have more than that, I'm sure. Actually, no, they don't.
Yeah.
They only have smokes, actually. This is actually pretty characteristic for this team. Iro doesn't spot D-Wad on his peak. But it looks like Memo Effect did, and now he's flanking right, allowing Iro to take the front. Actually, this is a wide flank, right? And oh no, spotting the back of his head as he wasn't
all
moving.
she wrote.
That was all she wrote, indeed, as the Bad Boys taking a 5-kill win home for themselves. Both parts of Digital Athletics making their presence known.
Yeah, and honestly, great plays from them. They did get the circle blessed towards the end there, but overall, I mean, 5 kills in the win. I think there's something to be said about DA. They're tearing up.
D-Wad got a second place with 4 kills without a teammate. And we were just talking about how impossible the fights feel when you're on your own. He got 4 kills in a second place. That was real impressive.
I'm surprised he made it across the river, yet alone able to make it all the way into a second place finish, just hanging out on that coastline. It's great plays from him. Yeah, I'm speechless on that. Like, I can't believe you made it across that water.
We'll give you some time to get your thoughts together. We're going to go to a halftime break. When we come back, we'll have a couple of announcements as well as the scoreboards and then the NA half of the Sidekick Showdown ready for you guys. Don't go anywhere. Have to. Coming soon. Welcome back to the second half of SK. Oh, my cup. of SKS. We're going to be going into the NA half. Hopefully this leaderboard's ready for you guys. But while we get those up, the quals for this happened over the last 2 weeks. If you want to play, then go ahead and check it out yourself. You can sign up at firstblood.io. There's links all over our Discord as well. On the top of that screen, just go ahead and click it. You do not need the Overwolf app anymore. It's all on the website. It's all automated. It's beautiful. It's great. And oh my god, it's on camera, Dan. Well, the Firstblood Cup's back. Thank you, though. Yeah. If you're playing the SKS, so this is, by the way, if you haven't watched before, there's gonna be 60 duos playing here in comp settings on Vikendi. It's just translated 1 for 1. A couple of these settings look a little insane on Vikendi, specifically the phase 2 move speed, but everything else has been really, really fun to watch so far. And I've seen a lot of like really, really impressive strats being used, and also a lot of interesting differences between Erangel and Miramar and Vikendi, but also duos versus squads. Like just people just playing it so it feels like a different game compared to comp PUBG.
Yeah, I mean, it essentially is. You have twice as many teams, so the real estate gets taken up a lot quicker. You don't have to get as much loot. I mean, you only have to kit out 2 players, so you can loot up anywhere really on the map, especially with the increased loot settings.
Like Loot Cave, that Leopard Gaming taken every single time,
now,
uncontested.
Yeah, uncontested. But, I mean, realistically, it is like a completely different game. And it's a little bit more of an exciting one because with twice as many teams, it's a lot more third-party action. And if shots go down, you kind of have to reposition yourself pretty quickly. Make sure you throw down the smokes if you're wanting to loot. Otherwise, you'll end up getting third-partied and taken out just as quick as you came into the game.
Our first 2 games have been incredibly mean to our players. Yeah. There was one with a flight plan. Yeah, the flight plan went north, the zone went south, it hard shifted south, and then kept the river in for a huge period of time. There was like no real estate for players to play on.
Same with game 2.
Yeah, it even debated us. Like it looked like the zone was gonna go west near Tovar, and then it just shifted east to a cement factory. And then, like when all was said and done, there was 16 people alive in phase 5. Like everyone died trying to cross that river. At that point, it was really easy for the bad boys to just find all the players on these hills. They had a couple of really good bolt action shots, and they third-partied every single angle to death until there was only solos left. And at that point, the game was won for them.
Yeah, realistically, I mean, once they eliminated the teams on the far east that had to push down.
The only duos.
Yeah, exactly. It left open the solos on the west, and the solos on the west ended up taking each other out, leaving just D-Wad up, who was able to snake it in or swim across from the west side, surprisingly.
Big hero play from him. Yeah. He was able to get enough points
kills.
For a first place. 4 kills and second place. That's 12 plus 18. 30 points for him. While the
killing it.
The scoreboard's up for you right now, but Digital Athletics. Wait, what?
Digital Athletics is Sixmo and Mert Gungor, who's their teammates are bad boys, who are Iroh and Memo Effect. All 4 phenomenal players, and we're seeing exactly what happens when you split that team up. You get one that gets 48 in one game. Obviously, the better team,
like
Digital Athletics.
Team.
No,
like
just two points.
They just showed up. They're just like, let's do this event. Like the last group to show up, and here they are.
The scoreboards are actually pretty dang close. Lapid Gaming pretty close behind with 45 points, only 3 behind for first place, and then 43 for Superfunk Esports. Superfunk came out extremely strong. Baby Bean especially had 7 kills and to that person itself, 2 for the other teammates, and 9 total in game 1, racking them up 33 points, and then Major Team coming out and doing honestly pretty well as well. 3 kills in game 1 with a bad placement, but then making it up in game 2 with a 7th place with 6 kills.
Oh, that's great, but look at the consistency of Panda Team Bravo. If this was a different point structure, they would easily be within the top 3. Not getting many kills, though, is going to be forcing them down into 6th place overall, but getting consecutive 5th places says a lot about their ability to stay alive and their game sense as a whole, even in these incredibly unfamiliar settings.
Yeah, and I mean, all the way down to 15th place even. Like
a first place.
Yeah, exactly. A first place sky changes up this entire leaderboards, literally. And the 15th place team gets a first place. boom, they're in first
They're
place.
in first, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
This is
insane to look at
close.
right now. Definitely a lot of teams very, very close. Because all these guys, these are the fraggers of the lobby. 4 kills, 4 kills. Let's look at the 9th through 13th. There was 4 kills, 4 kills, 4 kills, all in game 2. So as long as you're able to reasonably frag out in a game, get a couple of kills, or a few kills rather, then you're at least going to be able to, if you get an explosive game, reasonably be within the top 5.
Yep.
That's all it takes. Even look at the first place team, 1 big win, and then 0 points in the next game. They're the first team we saw die, and they are still in first place.
And you can see it right here, $300 for a first place, $200 for second place, $100 for third place, $50 for fourth, and $25 for fifth. So top 5 pays out. And all it's going to take is one solid game to make it in these top 5. Honestly, six kills plus a win, that's like, you get the win, so that's already a really solid game. But 6 kills, that's on the lower side of kill points overall that I think that we might see in duos. And squads, I know it's like average roughly 10 to 12 kills for a winning team. Duos, I honestly thought it would be closer to that rather than lower, and if we have
potentially
six kills for the first game and 5 for the second game.
Well, I mean, you got to look at the teams that are getting themselves into position. A lot of the teams that get high kills are the ones where we look at phase 3 and 4 and people are just like, oh my god, I'm trying to get into the zone, and then they just murder everyone, and then they're just in a horrible spot. Everything is said and done. Their duo's probably dead, but they've gone through hell and they have points to back it up as far as kills go, but they kill so many people that everyone knows where they are. So it's like, all right, well, there's only one person left, so it's just really easy to take them out. Meanwhile, if we're looking at the bad boys, Digital Athletics, they use the exact same strategy. When we looked at phase 4 and 5, they were keeping their head down. They didn't want to take too many fights. And when all was said and done, they were able to stay alive and then translate their position into a... It wasn't in the bad boys' case. It was a game-winning spot because everyone else was dead. But for Digital Athletics, the spot that they were in for a very long time, that was like, okay, it's just like a beach. It's like, oh, it's a beach that is the only cover on their side of the road in the zone, and they're able to keep both teams alive. So they just gate kept everyone.
Yep.
Like it was just good enough, like treading the line between like a good spot and a spot no one is gonna be. Just enough to get a couple of kills and then also get a first place and have a good spot in the late game.
Yeah,
positioning wise.
I mean, and the circle did end up allowing them to do that as well. It shifted to where for at least Digital Athletics, the compound that was on their side of the road was no longer in, but their position was still perfectly fine, and so it allowed them to play that position and just gatekeep out.
The big time for them was there was a zone where it was on the far north side, the Lapa Gaming was still alive. The far south, the Bad Boys were still alive, and one of their buildings was in. So it's like, all right, every single other compound is out besides like a shed on the beach.
Yeah.
The team across the east side now has to leave, but the Bad Boys can just sit there. So that was the big feed, I would say. But Digital Athletics, Sixmo, and Mert, that was some big brain stuff right there. Like that was really cool to watch.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to pick up 6 kills overall. I don't think I wouldn't attribute them getting the circle or them being in their location to those kills necessarily, because they did play the fights pretty well. It's not like they had the compound and people just ran right at their compound. Like they won heads up even fights. Like it was a legit 1v1 or a 2v1 or a 2v2 to where like Mert Digital Athletics or Bad Boys could have went down and out. I'd say except for that last game where it was a 2v1 right at the end. D-Wad, he was just, not only was he in a worse position, he had 2 guys in great positions looking directly at him. So that one was kind of a heads up fight in favor of the boys. But anything other than that, I'd say is pretty even fights, and they played it phenomenally.
I think the big telling point for how many kills you're going to get is what is your strategy going into phase 1 and 2? Where are you dropping? What's your strategy to get into the zone? Yeah, and early game is everything. A lot of people are dying for it, hot dropping for compounds in the middle of the zone, when realistically, as long as you find a car in phase 1 or phase 2, then you're gonna be able to get reasonably wherever you want, as long as I guess honestly, as long as you get lucky and avoid people that are trying to walk in on foot at that point. But at that point, as long as you're able to find a spot pretty early and sort of like lay low, whether it's like a compound or just like a bush that no one's gonna check for a while, and you're able to avoid that phase 4, phase 5 boiling point, then you're in a pretty good spot if you're still in the zone and you're not in like an open field.
Yeah, and I mean, that's true, and it's all great on pen and paper, but when those hard shifts hit the fan, honestly, it's anyone's game, because realistically, you can put yourselves in a great position, center of the circle, but when that compound or that circle shifts far west or far east rather across the water, and all of a sudden you found yourself, you're having to swim across water now, or take bridges that are going to be camped, or if it shifts far south and now no one's inside that circle and everyone's coming in from the north side, it's just honestly, you can't bank on that at all. And sometimes just going in guns blazing and having to fight your way through situations like we saw Baby Bean do to pick up a lot of kill points, that's just more ideal.
Maybe, but all the teams we saw do that died. Meanwhile, we're seeing like DeWad,
it's high risk, high reward
go for his swim play, and he was able to just like swim across, snake his way in. I think that there's a certain point where, and this is a pretty big skill, where you identify where a lot of like the stress points in the zone are going to be for people trying to get in, being like, okay, don't go that way, like go anywhere
Bridges,
else.
not ideal. One of the 3 compounds that are still in circle, not ideal. A beach that just happens to be partly in the circle.
It has like
all of a sudden, will get you a first or a second place.
Yeah.
So I think you're onto something there with having to identify the boiling points and also the hot locations. So.
And imagine if DeWad was able to play the way he did with the duo.
Yep.
There's nothing preventing him from doing what he did as a duo. Because honestly, what he did is literally what Digital Athletics did in Game 1. Not literally, but very similar.
Similar, yeah. Very hung out on the beach, let the teams engage around him, and then pick the fight when he needed to. It worked out really well. And the beaches here, as long as you don't get shot crossing over the water, they're not that bad to play, because they're not long and open like the ones on Erangel.
Yeah.
These beaches, they go and drop down pretty quickly, so you can play this lower edge honestly pretty well. You can get flanked, but that's about it. I mean, you have line of sight covered from a lot, whereas like on the beaches on Erangel, as soon as you get up on the beach, all of a sudden you can be seen from hundreds of meters around you.
There's a reason why we call teams that are trying to get to Military Island, there's a reason why a lot of times we call that D-Day. Because it's a bloodbath. Yep. It's a bloodbath. There's someone already watching that beach. Looking over here, they're going into Game 3. The NA split going to be coming out, and this flight plan looking very similar to our Game 1 flight plan. Not much else to say about it. The loot cave is still in play. There's enough compounds by far in the west for everyone.
I want to see someone else go to the loot cave and fight it out over that level.
If someone like during the break was watching the VODs, like, wait a minute, hold up, what are they allowed to do? They could go contest it, but at that point, you're contesting loot cave. And it's like, is that really what you want to spend time doing?
I want that. I want the team that's outside of top 15 to go for it. Risk it for the biscuit, get that level 3 gear, and then just go all out.
I have a message for my Ridge Moron and Ryozan X-Evolution. If you're willing to contest Peshkova, you sure as hell better be willing to contest Loot Cave if it's both one team in both of those spots.
Especially my Ridge Moron. That cave has some good ridges outside of it. I'm just saying.
That's true. It's a giant ridge.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So they're gonna late push is what you're saying, but no, actually they're gonna once again drop inside Peshkova. Looking around, I don't see Ryozan or X-Evolution anywhere. So they will get this farm village for free, which they probably are very, very happy to see that.
PDS,
this time though, yeah, I think that PDS is going to be contesting Lapid Gaming, and this is an NA server. That being said, I see Dark Dreams like dropping on top of one of the. And it's actually relatively close to one of the caves, so going for a loot a compound and go for a grenade strat.
There's
for
a vehicle
Dreams.
by Bonkai and Socio. The way they're dropping
Let's
in.
actually look at this real quick. This is pretty important here. So Sixel and Socio are going to be going pretty far out here. Looks like that Sixel not going for a car. He's pretty far away from roads. Socio going for a loot as well. This is what PDS did before. Drop in your own compounds and get kitted, then link up later. I'm wondering if this is going to turn into a late push on Cave. It looks like Lappa Gaming as well was not able to find a vehicle, I don't believe. So they are going to need to find frags to make this work.
There's the Dacia on the road there.
Where's it at? Where's it at?
It was a little to the north. I don't think either of the teams are in position to see it. Yeah, and so it's just right there next to the rock.
Yeah.
I don't think either of the teams saw it, obviously, because they didn't go for it. But they are inside circle, and there are a decent amount of compounds here. And I think with the new loot settings, the amplified grenade spawns should be able to find a frag grenade. You only need one to make it inside.
I'm going to trust you on that. I have no idea what the frag spawns look like right now.
And I think it's above 1.5, and so
that's a lot of frags.
It's a little more turned
actually,
up than normal.
We're in Vikendi. That's like a million. Wait, we turned Molotovs off, so there's actually not that many explosives on this map, are there? Because Vikendi has a ton of Molotovs, but we turned them off because they're so bugged out. So there actually aren't that many like throwables besides stun grenades.
Hey, well, I mean, I don't. A stun grenade obviously won't work, and so hopefully they're able to find the one frag.
Yeah.
But we do have some contention coming down into Tovar between Teletubbies and Unknown friend.
Yeah, IG Sangal.
IG Sangal. Tovar, not the best city to have to contest in for squads, but duos
it was like Pachinki for a while in pubs. Then people were just like, "Wait, what am I doing?"
It's not the best yet. I mean, overall, you're gonna get kitted in a duo situation, but in squads, honestly, you're gonna come out pretty under-kitted. And then on top of that, there's just so many angles that teams can spot you from, and that you have to check as you go out of Tovar. And so I tried to avoid any of these city fights personally. I think looting inside the compounds on the outside of the city is just so much safer, and you know what to expect, kind of.
And that's what pros do Snake have been doing for a long time here. We'll see if they can make it happen soon. They're very, very cautious. They were able to do what they wanted to do in the early game, which actually failed 2 games in a row, which was drop in your own compound, get kitted, and link up after that. I like that strat a lot, but they've gotten punished for it a couple of times. They are still being very cautious here, but I would love to see someone go for Cave. I think that pros do Snake kind of expect it to be taken already, but Lappa Gaming, they probably don't know what to expect because they didn't get it the first time. Or this is the first time they haven't gotten it, rather.
Yeah. I mean, grenades, you can hear it up to 800 meters now.
And so
realistically, they might think someone drove into that, which is a very real possibility this late into the game. But realistically, if anyone tried to throw a grenade, they would know for sure.
Interesting. And they all dropped together, so they're at the very least, since they didn't see anyone else get a car, they know that, or they would have known if someone went to Loot Cave right away.
Yeah.
Based on that information. So we'll be seeing how these two teams react. It looks like PDS are slowing down here in the far east side, whereas Lappa Gaming are sort of figuring out what they're doing. They did also do something similar to PDS, dropping separate combos and are now linked up. Probably know someone's in Peshkova, so they might be a little bit cautious to move out too much. Peshkova last time ended up getting pretty close to Loot Cave, and Lappa Gaming was able to drive them off. Very interesting how we're beginning to see a sort of metaform on the east side around Peshkova and Loot Cave.
Yeah, and I mean, duo metas are always interesting because there's just no way to know where 29 other teams or however many other teams in the lobby are going to drop. Squads, knowing where 15 other teams are going to drop, a little bit more realistic, still very challenging. But duos, yeah, I'm just throwing that out right out the window. There's no possible way you're going to have an idea of where people are going to drop. You just have to expect every compound that you go up to be taken already and play it as such.
I think that we have a potential first knock here as Svanster to get mowed down by Dewad after getting down by Amzi. Maybe, no, actually that was the White Wolf who was protecting his buddy from getting flushed here. Great shot for him to hit, but still, he has a hard road ahead of him if he wants to save Svanster, as I don't think that he actually spotted Dewad going for the res. Svanster is hopefully feeding him information via audio. Right now, getting closer maybe. Kleinman lining up a shot on the far east. White Wolf has no idea this is happening right now. They actually left the fight inside Tovar to come do this. Ibis begins shooting.
Kleinman. Shoot him.
But White Wolf does not realize that that's like at the people that he's looking at.
Oh, he's in the inventory screen. No,
Oh, he took way too long to
Yeah, and missed his
on.
chance to run out.
That was like a
while he's
10
running out in the
second,
open.
like, all right, just take the scope off, put it on.
He does get the shots
right.
though. So taking down Not White Wolf. That's eliminating Team Thirst Aid in 28th place. Unfortunate for them.
Team almost got knocked out before that. Once again, evasion and mime. They're
Not having a good day.
Oh, pros don't snake on the far east. They're getting pretty close to the loot cave. They want it.
They've got 2 nades, so they can make it in. They're gonna have to slowly but surely push up to the cave and realize that no one is there.
Are you ready to be a Boy Scout? Let's count grid squares on this map. So Lepa Gaming 3 East, they're only 4 grid squares away. That's 400 meters. A grenade will be audible. And if Lepa Gaming hear that, then it'll be interesting to see how they react. If they're gonna go for a camp, if they're gonna do something else. Because if you go for a frag, it's very hard to break open other entrances unless you have more frags. They did have 2, but the point is that you're very much translating what you're doing there. So gonna be a little bit worrisome if they do go for loot cave, but I wanted to do it because I want to see them 2 for 9 this game.
I mean, even if Bankai and Dark do hear the grenade go off, they could probably make it in, loot it up, and get out of there quick enough to where it won't allow the enemy team to set up a camp outside of the cave.
The boys, or bad boys, are playing this like it's comp right now, just rotating to center right away. Oh, these trees are doing something weird.
Interesting graphics there. Kind of threw me off there. Iroh gonna push in, try to get themselves somewhat of a central compound across the street from Izaka Boars. Izaka Boars not having a great day so far, going down and out early 2 games
The
in a row.
compound just to their south, they died there twice, and
Yeah.
now there's no one in there. Izaka Boars landed away from it, but also bad boys aren't even worried about it at all. It makes sense. It's a big compound for loot, horrible for positioning.
Yep.
It's in the low ground, but they also don't know that Izaka Boars is there with the shots beginning to ring out, going toward Memo Effect, getting hit once. Iroh knocked a little bit as well. Oh, that looked like it was gonna hit. Oh, he needs it. These M24 headshots looking for a second player. Oh, at 9 HP. Now beginning to smoke himself. Memo Effect getting battered himself, but still no knocks. This will allow them to smoke, allow them to heal, buy a bit of time. Still though, Izaka Boars not moving, but oh no,
the
wave is gonna be coming in from somewhere, shooting Memo in the back. I don't even know where that shot came from. On the kill feed, Teletubbies going down, very strong team inside Tovar, but right now, Iroh, okay, that was that right there, coming in far from the southeast. We do see on the map that Iroh is gonna back off, go for the res onto Memo, and it actually, as Izaka Boars realizing a third party is happening, react by backing away.
Yeah, I have to wonder if they correlated that down from Texas onto Iroh and knew that was the team right in front of them, because I don't know why you would back off. If the team in front of you is getting third-partied, I'd probably stick it through and try to pick up a
They
kill or
might
2.
not have known. There was a lot of smoke out there. They didn't know they were fighting Team Ready unless they recognized their cosmetics. Oh, big fight happening here outside coal mine. QC Respected trying to go for a long-range support play. But it's not going to work out as Lee Motar does get flushed. That is why you don't want to spread out this much. You're just not able to help out your teammate in that kind of a situation. Oh, are they... Okay, they're trying to get closer to Pros Don't Snake, and this is going to be a dangerous situation. Baby Beans with their signature 3x suppressed M4, catching them out in the middle.
Goodness.
Oh my god, that was nuts right there. Taking down both players before they can even cross the road, or the river rather.
That was great shots from Baby Beans. I mean, you don't see the suppressor happen too often in comp. In pubs, it's not the worst case because it is harder to triangulate exactly where suppressed shots are coming from. But in comp, usually players have good enough headsets to where they can immediately find it. But Baby Beans took him down and out before it even mattered.
Didn't even need to get that headshot, but the overkill will occur anyway as Dirty's in. The other team from Pros Don't Snake will be taking them down. I'm sad to see that Pros Do Snake didn't go for the loot cave. Not going to be in the cards today. However, Phase 2 did pop, and it's going to be in a location once again around this Tovar area. Once again, the river's still in play. And oh no, this is going to be some new stuff though, as Ryozen Solution getting the down onto Buyakai. Ryozen using Peeker advantage to his advantage. Koski trying to prevent a push that will come out, but leaving as soon as they begin to make that push. Ryozen going to flush Buyakai, and Koski not in position to stop it. If he goes across that road, he's immediately going to get gunned down, and as soon as Buyakai Ukai goes down, Koski goes to disengage, retreating to the south side of this wall. Not sure if he'll be able to go across this road, though. Just look around. There's teams in almost every single one of these compounds, as well as still inside Tovar.
Yeah, I mean, he might be able to go south across the street and hang out there, but that honestly is not the best compound to be holding on to as a solo. He'd be much better off just proning it out in a bush here, maybe holding his single building there and waiting for Ryozan and Exvolution to try and push him. He's dead center, so his hand's not forced just yet. He is going to go across the street and try and take the compound there. Cottonmouth spots him out, does get some shots out into him, but not enough to down him. Koski able to make it inside the building safe and sound.
I hate to directly ask for stuff, but can we look at Lepa effect on the northeast side of the zone? I want to see if they got the loot cave. I want to see if they actually were able to get all that stuff on the far northeastern edge. Hope we get a shot of them soon at some point to see if anyone got the loot cave this game, or if it's just going to be, left alone. Meanwhile, though, in center zone, Masterminds just kind of holding their ground.
I'm going to guess it got left alone. If it doesn't get taken early, I think a lot of teams just automatically assume that it's taken. Like, hey, it's got such high priority loot that you would automatically assume that there's 2 to 3 teams landing there. And I think that's exactly why we saw that one team take it both game 1 and 2 for free. It's because every other team was like, no, not worth the contention. There's going to be too many teams having to fight it. There, Ewad getting good shots out on a memo effect.
Prone in the
Iro
doorway.
taking him down and out though.
Iro tried to hold his ground, going for the free fire. He heard him coming around the corner. And oh my god, that is why audio and headsets are so important in this game. Being able to hear precisely what is going on around you gives you so much intel. I was playing with some bad headphones earlier. It was hell. Literal hell. Looking over here at the southwest edge, pros don't snake. They heard the fight rather happened in that compound. If they were looking at the kill feed properly, they know there's still someone down there. And they're actually going to be using that knowledge to break into the zone on the southwest edge. They're probably going to get forced into a fight between them and Iro's team soon. Question is when.
Sixmo and
the entirety of team
spotting
ready,
out
Digital
PDS.
Athletics.
Yeah. Iro and Memo have no clue that Dirty, Zin, and T-Sock are there. But the other team does. Meanwhile,
Tanaka was inside the shed, just mowed him down with the Groza in the back. The frag did get work done, so the last thing that he did is going to be to get a couple of kills here. Now Manchester Z can just take this fight, see what he can do. He knows that they're there on that far side. I think that this is beyond the frag priming audio range, so Tanaka doesn't know this frag is coming. Still, though, this is chucked a little bit too far, not cooked quite well enough. But because he got this kill, he knows he can back off. He knows this building is empty.
Tanaka down to 1 shot, too. That nade was so close to taking him down and out.
Oh
2
my
HP.
God.
Oh my gosh, how lucky. Master was able to make it back into the compound, or the building rather, that he grenaded Tanaka's teammate in. Tanaka's hanging out on this outside wall. I think this is just going to be a stalemate, and each person's just going to wait for the other to trip the wire and get taken down.
Ooh, Lucky Twig not living up to his name, as a collection of Zakobors will zone will tickle him to death. Gonna be the Zakobors claiming the northwest edge of the zone, literally uncontested besides, their own team. As they come in from the northeast, though, it's gonna be Dry Impact getting in a fight against a Galactus Array. I think it's red, if I'm not mistaken here. Goody getting mowed down. Capitano playing the far angle, trying to support his teammate from afar. But it's not going to work out, as they know exactly what Free's on. They can shoot his backpack, make all of his pain quarters fall from behind. Body shot from the rear will begin to take him down. And then there's an elbow shot. No is just picking him to pieces, but his teammate calls out he's backing off. No knows where he's at. That frag looks insane. Oh my god, it didn't look like it actually at the very end, but deflecting just far enough to the right. The frag going for a big flank on the right side, I guess.
Speaking of flanks on the right side, we have one team inside Castle still having to push across the water. That's Baby Beans and Friend. They are inside the circle though, but overall that's going to be a hard push with Tanaka and Master sitting across the water.
Look at Mert and Sixmo. They were able to, despite coming on the west side, both compounds being taken, they're able to wrap all the way around that, but another shift away from them. This is going to be really hard for them to deal with, and they're going to be forced into a fight, deciding whether or not they want to take Tovar or go into the outskirts of Tovar. And honestly, a lot of teams have like the exact same decision they have to make. Like, how are we going to do this? Are we going through or like around Tovar? every single spot is taken. Like, you're gonna need to kill someone to get through this, or at least, like, send a car through it. There's almost no sneaking through it, though, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we're about to see both DA's teams, Iro and Mert, Gungor, as well as PDS getting close on the exact same position, which Snip and Karst are already holding.
DA versus DA. They're cut out in the open. 6mo trying to land it onto Memo Effect. No downs. They don't know yet that these are like each other's teams here. Mert putting out a little bit of supporting fire here.
But PDS,
no, shot in the back. And at that point, they're saying, oh no, that was our teammates. And we just let him get shot in the back. No. But at the very least, they're probably very happy that they are now uncontested as they get next to their neighbors of Teletubbies. And oh no, the fight's not over yet for Digital Athletics as Snip Zeko finding some big damage onto 6mo. No frags coming out yet. He's actually worried about frags himself. Will be retreating from that room and just in time as 6mo does begin shelling it from above. His teammate Karks actually is just right below them. Actually, no, he's hiding in the closet as well. So they're just waiting for the red zone to stop.
Yeah, and I mean, if they could get a nade up and over the ridge, it'd be really good for him because Mert and 6mo are so dangerously close to each other. But it's extremely dangerous trying to get a nade through that window whenever you've got players like Mert and 6mo staring right at you.
And it's dangerous to leave their building because look at Sheezer. They didn't clear Tovar. They can't safely leave. 6mo, though, will be not taking the same approach as they go in, but both players getting hurt a ton here. Karks is antsy. We see him.
The nade!
Oh my god! That was a jump scare if I ever saw one. Actually, Uno, that was why Teletubbies wasn't moving. Because they knew Tovar was occupied and they were not allowed to move around. So that's going to be the entirety of Digital Athletics. Our first and second place team getting taken down outside of placement points, and I think with very minimal kills. Leaderboard opening right the hell up.
Yeah, and I mean, like we mentioned before this game, any team in the top 15... Yeah, I did. They did.
Sorry,
they did
I just wanted to get that out there.
Any team inside the top 15, if they get a win, it will automatically skyrocket them into first place, especially now with the first and second place teams going down and out outside of placement points with minimal kills to go along with it.
Oh my god, this is really, really awesome to see. If you look at the leaderboards here, Latinator finding a Tazinator, excuse me, finding Bankai on top of the hill. Look at the wiggles on Bankai. It was like wiggle to the left, wiggle to the right. This is the only thing keeping him alive, but sadly some well-paced shots from Tazinator from Orion Polaris will be able to take him down. No level 3 armor to help you today. Meanwhile, Zimtastic trying to land the money shot, but nah, it's just going to hit him in the arm. Dark Dream's going to be pushing into the smoke that he pushed out. Tazinator letting out some suppressive fire. Zim realized that's a bit far for a frag grenade.
That is pretty ambitious there, Brett Favre.
Oh, the first shot from that spray actually hit him. The second one hits him as well. Oh my god, Zimtastic getting insanely lucky.
Maybe he should try to throw it. I don't know. He hits those shots. He might be able to chuck it over there.
Off of a tree branch through the leaves
7 times
into Dark Dream's mouth. Maybe that's what'll happen here. He is very, oh my god, he's very, very dead. Actually, even QC Respector finds him. An M24 shot to his unprotected chest, dealing 86 damage, taking him down. And now, look at this. Tovar is going to be hot and spicy. Baby Beans, they got 3 kills off camera, so they're doing pretty good this game. And they're also one of the few duos that are still left here, as we're missing about 6 players that should be this game. If all these guys saw duos. Sheezer in the second floor. Baby Bean's not quite aware of exactly where they are. Trying to find that angle onto Baby Beans. They can definitely hear Mr. Baby over here. Look at Sheezer. Look at him trying to find it.
Yeah, as I say, you could see him right through the window.
They're looking for Uno.
Yeah, I think Baby might have spotted out Uno there, but doesn't realize the Sheezer's in the very, very close building, staring directly at them. They're making as much noise as they possibly could, too. So this is, well, they make it across the street without getting shots. This is actually pretty good for him. Oh, as soon as I say that, Sheezer does pull the trigger, taking Cluster down to half HP. Baby is across the street, though, trying to make it into the compound. Shots coming out. Ooh,
very bad spray.
Yeah,
very hard to hit, but
yeah.
Good that he hit around it all there. Clusterfunk still suppressing Sheezer, keeping him pinned down, allowing his teammate to get to a better spot, but the zone's coming in. Neither of these guys are in play. They need to either disengage or kill Sheezer right now. Look at the rest of the zone. There's still so many other players they'll need to get through to make their way into the zone, and they're nowhere near it. Sheezer making his last Hail Mary, trying to chuck it out. I don't think that made it outside the building. No, it did not. And now Sheezer, out of frustration, will be the down Clusterfunk, so that's going to be a kill to his name eventually, but he will be dying to the zone here, leaving Baby Beans all alone.
Yeah, it looks like Baby maybe is even rezzing right now. The circle is pushing in slowly. I don't think so either. No, especially not with the enemy Koski running directly up onto Baby Beans. Baby Beans does take Koski down, leaving just the top 10 teams now, down to 9 teams.
They're finally using a compensator on that M4. Oh, T-Sock in a lot of trouble. Yeah. Oh, Texas Queso. Texas Queso, the hero. He's in the M249. I heard that earlier, and I resisted the urge to state my excitement, but now we're going to be seeing them take the far west side of the zone. Are on their own there, but they've been spotting out. Teletubbies here, they're not willing to shoot yet, but a spray at this range, they're probably capable of the SLR. This might do it, landing 2 shots, but they're flanking left, but Karks is already on at that angle. Didn't see him on that tree, but does see the upper body of Snip, but getting a shot from the right. This is the beginning of the end for Baby Beans. Try to hang on for as long as they can, spraying for dear life. I don't think they realized they got shot on the right. No, they did not. Cottonmouth able to take down the terror that is Baby Beans.
Snip getting a little lucky there with the missed SLR shots. Baby Beans, that could have been 100% an easy 1v2 if she got the down onto Snip immediately. But
easy 1v2.
I mean, realistically, Karks had no idea. I guess Baby Beans didn't know where Karks was either. But if Baby Beans down Snip there, Karks is in a pretty tough location to fight from. I mean, granted, Cottonmouth was sitting there for the third party, but realistically, I think Baby, especially with what we've seen today from Baby, I think could have done it.
I'm looking around at our top 6 teams right now. Number 1, they're all duos. That's awesome. We're going to be seeing players probably play pretty proactive here. And number 2, I don't recognize any of these guys from previous other high point games.
Today,
there's a couple of them which
Ozzy
are top 10, top 15.
Yeah.
I think the Ozzy and Hueth are 7th place. Yeah. But top 5, I don't think they're in this game right now.
I don't think so either. Maybe Snip. I know we've seen Snip a little bit today. But I don't think they're top 5. And Azaka Boer is definitely not top 5. Didn't see the best 2 placements in the games 1 or 2 from them.
They want that first place.
Yeah, exactly.
You're doing the strat that killed them. Then I was like, okay, well, camping's apparently the best thing to do in this game. We're gonna sit here in this building for as long as humanly possible. The same cannot be said for the Masterminds, who will be forced into the waiting arms of Ozzy and Hueth, who are playing much more proactive themselves. But Cottonmouth able to creep right up here, and he has a lot of time here. Although, as I say that, Chris does get into a fight with the Teletubbies, finding a headshot on one, does not land one on Karks though, and getting the res. Chris realizes he's not going to be able to say or do anything about this. He's gonna probably want to wrap up to Cotton soon.
Yeah, they need to push this compound together. I mean, Cottonmouth might be able to get the pick on Hueth here without Hueth being able to return any fire. Ozzy's not really in a position to support either, so if Cottonmouth could get the knock immediately onto Hueth, he could potentially be in a pretty good position to take out Ozzy right afterwards.
Chris was waiting for the repeat. He's still fighting them. Not going to be landing that shot. Now having enough smoke here to back off. Now everyone knows exactly where he is, although he wasn't exactly quiet before using an unsuppressed Cart 98. Looking over here. Oh no, the frag bouncing off the windowsill. Ozzy now knows that he is being stalked. And, excuse me, Hueth knows that he's being stalked and goes into camping position. Meanwhile, as I say that though, Karks going for the headshot onto Ozzy, leaving Hueth with a ticking timer. Does he go for the camp and try to make sure that he stays alive, or does he move for the res? Right now, he'll be simply staying alive, going for self-preservation, and Cotton making a lot of noise. He knows exactly where Cotton is. And Chris, in the meantime, going for a push onto Hueth's down teammate. Might be able to snag that kill away from Teletubbies. He actually will steal that kill, in fact. Beginning to claim this compound, but Zone pushing away from them. They need to figure out what they're going to do quick here.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hueth made the right decision. He obviously can't go for the res there because he's all the way across the compound from him, especially with Cottonmouth directly outside his building. And realistically, there's only 10 enemies, or, well, 9 enemies up.
No, not M249. Oh, but the barrel running out of ammo, but Texas running out of HP.
Let's say that's tough. Nothing to do there. Unfortunately, he needed to get that knock onto Taz right away. The barrel is such a good close-range weapon, one that can easily compete with the M249.
Over here. Wait, force outside his building, fragging one, seeing Cotton go for the flank, might be ready for him, sees his little head to the grass,
nice.
Goes for a great spray onto Cotton, buying him valuable time. The zone now pushing in. If you can hold out for a little bit longer, he could find himself gatekeeping this team, which is a pretty good place to be in a 1v2. Chris will slow the fight down, going for a red. What is he?
I think.
Is that a red? Oh no.
Did he DC?
Oh
no. Okay,
no.
He's back. I wonder what was
how
going
scary.
on there. Maybe he was just trying to get a little bit of information via audio.
Now, what did I tell you about taking 1v1s without me?
He's
What,
sitting there
playing around the wall?
lecturing his teammate.
I would do that in a pub maybe. I could definitely see it happening. Oh, the Teletubbies creeping into the villa. The fight re-engaging here between Huaith and Cotton, Team Cotton rather. He's actually able to get to full HP, maybe using a med kit, but that was a surprise.
Zimtastic taking down Huaith from afar, leaving just 4 teams alive.
Well, what am I supposed to do with all this pent up energy?
All of which are duos. All 4 teams alive, still have all 2 members up. And everyone's inside the zone too, some better than others, with Snip and Karks having to sit right next to Zaka Boars. I'm not sure
they
Zaka
know?
Yeah, as I say, I don't think they know.
Proning is very loud. Okay, no, they're pretty worried right now. So they're aware that they were camping the entire time. Up until now, they have 0 intel, and they are giving a lot of said intel away to the Teletubbies and any other teams that could be nearby. That being said, Teletubbies, they hear this team walk away. They're being very careful that they don't move while they're prone. Crouch walking is very quiet. Moving while prone is one of the loudest volumes you can make with your body in this game. Karks, barely in zone, not having to move yet, but will be forced to eventually with the zone. Meanwhile, Zimtastic and Tassinator spotting out Masterminds as they make their play for the zone as well. Playing around this low ground shack. I can't think of any worse spots to be right now, but at least in the zone, at least you can hide in the shack to prevent yourself from getting fragged as well. Although, Zimtastic going for a flanker on the right, being very quiet and not giving any audio away, while Tassinator tries to get their attention on himself.
Then we've got the fight breaking out between Zaka Boars and Karks off in the kill feed, with Zaka Boars going down and out in 4th place.
Can't catch a break.
Yeah, and leaving just 1 member up from Teletubbies. They will be able to get the res though, so down to 3 teams, 6 still alive. The fight coming out between Cottonmouths and Zimtastic.
I like how slow Orion, that's Zim and Taz are playing this. I think that a
Yeah.
push at this point with another duo still alive is not the right thing to do when you have as much
they're
control.
doing it.
No, as I say that, Tazinator, he just sends it in. That has to have been a mistake. He must have meant to stay on the top. And oh my god, actually, Zimtastic overextending the try to go for a trade. It's not going to work. Although as I say that, Teletubbies might be able to go for a push themselves as they begin pushing through the gated walls of the villa. They might be able to go for a flank, but right now I think they're missing a lot of armor, the Teletubbies are, so they're not really willing to get themselves in a peak battle. If they go for a fight, it's going to be all or nothing, and that is translated by how slow they're playing this. They're running very low in equipment, no meds. They're not going to win a prolonged battle.
Yeah, they do have the utility though. They've got 2 grenades, so maybe they can use that to their advantage. And with the high ground, they should be able to get some free nades off. And if they do have to move, they've got 8 smokes to do that. Zimtastic is off in the distance as well, so if they could peek up without him spotting him out, they might have some free shots onto Masterminds as well, although they do have the hard cover, which is the shack, and this really good ridge. I'm loving Mastermind's position. They're pretty close to Central as well.
It's one of the only places near the center of the zone that's actually playable.
Yeah.
Teletubbies are going to need to start chucking their smokes in, as well as Zimtastic. Because right now, with them being so close to the edge, they're going to be the ones that move first. The question is who will a Mastermind spot when they make their move? Because Zimtastic, man, he's in a lot of trouble. And right now, he hasn't even popped any smokes yet.
Oh, the nades being primed from Snip. He spots out Masterminds. Nades coming out. It looks good. Looks like it was cooked long enough. Doesn't
Actually
look like it was
detonated
able
too
to.
early.
Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't look like it got the damage off that was needed to down anyone. Obviously, didn't do any damage either.
They're not popping
unfortunately.
smokes yet. I don't like how long they're taking to do this. It takes time to dissipate. And if they're forced out into this stairwell without dissipating, they're going to die easily. Zimtastic, meanwhile, going for a flank on the left side. Teletubbies not spotting that. Masterminds do know this information. However, it looks as though Zimtastic is trying to use the smoke. No, he's going for a push. He's trying to flank the Teletubbies. Oh no, he's trying to let them take the fight first. He's trying to allow them to engage the Masterminds so that he can sneak in. He does have 4 smokes himself, so I do feel like this is a little bit greedy from him. Oh my god.
It's a high risk, high reward play. If he can catch maybe Teletubbies on the flank, he can pick up 2 kills right away. Slowly but surely, the blue is pushing him into them. He's going to spot out Karks here soon. Spots out Karks.
Oh my
gets the
god!
spray, taking Karks down to low, taking him down all the way, leaving just Snip up. Snip is full HP. Zimtastic down to 43. He's going to go for the flush on the Karks.
He's so nervous. He is so nervous right now. Flub the spray on the down player. Should be able to get that any second now. He does. No, they're getting res. Oh, and Zimtastic not seeing him because of the smoke. Meanwhile, Mastermind saying, what is going on in there?
And
Is
Zimtastic
spotted.
goes
He's
down.
not in the smoke.
clubbed up. Two
Karks
sprays.
gets the
Chris
kill,
going down
Chris.
as well. Teletubbies barely able to stay
Cottonmouth
alive.
gets it down. It's just Crick. It's just
Cotton
Karks.
barely finding, but
Karks does it.
Oh, at 10 HP, barely making it work. Teletubbies staying alive, and this is like the third game between SSL and SKS where they've been able to clutch it out against all odds, literally at 10 HP. Snip, Zeko, and Karks putting on a show for us.
Karks going down, getting into the smoke, going down to 1 HP on his knock, and Snip getting the res, and Karks immediately turning that into the down onto Chris with the person from Orion, Zimtastic, going down from Chris as well. Oh my God, what an ending! I can't believe Teletubbies did that.
He didn't get the flush
so
too.
close.
And you could see how nervous he was. Like when he was going for the flush, he was like AD, like just like jittering left and right. Like you don't do that normally. Normally you just lean to the right and shoot. The only reason you jiggle while you're crouched is because you need to like, put your gun a little higher. Like you're in a window that's just a little bit too high. But no, that was pure nerves coming out. It actually prevented him from getting a kill. And maybe even something better than third place, but still an insane endgame. Teletubbies was able to pull something out of nothing. They were between everyone, and they ended up just, despite getting wrapped around like a snake, like a constrictor snake, they were able to break free and take on first place with 7 kills.
Yeah, highest kill first place we've seen today, so it's going to skyrocket them up into the leaderboards, especially with the top 2 teams going down and out early outside of the kill point or the placement points. Now, I don't know how many kills they had. I don't think it was very many.
For who?
For the basically digital athletics. Yeah.
It was real early. I don't think they.
Yeah, I didn't see their name in the kill feed very much at all. And
I know that the boys had at least 2. I think it might have been only 2 when they were part of Panda team. I don't think that Digital Athletics, Sixmo and Iro, or Sixmo and Mert had any.
Yeah, and I mean we saw. I can't remember the team name. The Teletubbies. We saw them pick up a few kills in the previous games too.
I can't remember if it was those two or Ibis.
No, it was Ibis. Actually, that's the Ibis team. So the other Teletubbies.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh no. Okay, so both Teletubbies are going to be pretty high up on the scoreboard. Yep. We're probably going to be seeing, not Team Ready, Digital Athletics.
Oh, these scoreboards are going to be close.
Oh my God, it's all going to come down to one game.
Yeah, realistically, the game 4 is going to be huge. And I mean, realistically, when you pay out top 5, it makes sense that even in going into game 4, you need to try your butt off because one good game, a 7-kill win, is going to skyrocket you. And I think we're going to see it right here whenever we jump over the scoreboards. It's literally going to be Teletubbies going from... I don't even know if they were in the top 15.
I don't think they were.
Yeah, they're going to skyrocket into top 5.
I mean,
I'd be surprised to not see them.
You
in the
remember
top 5.
Digital Athletics? Okay, well, let's look at this. Teletubbies Bravo.
First place.
27th with 0, 8th place with 2 for 14 points, and 51 points.
Yeah, 65 total. So Masterminds, 67. They're still
I see.
barely
This
in
isn't
first.
actually sorted properly yet, so this actually
same
might
with
not be the
64 for
complete
Superfunk.
leaderboard. We'll be
Ryan, oh my God, this is close. This is so
yeah.
close.
We'll wait for them to get sorted to like look at this properly. Yeah, but we'll know soon exactly what it looks like. But there were a lot of 60s.
Yeah, and I mean, I saw plenty of 50s as well, plenty of 40s, and realistically, I'd say all the way down to the 30s. Like literally, still, we don't even on wave check. You're gonna have to have a really good game, and you're gonna have to hope that these teams above 50 are gonna have a bad game. But realistically, it's still possible if you have a lights out game 4. It's definitely doable, but Mastermind's taking the first place by 2 points. Teletubbies following closely behind at 65. Superfunk directly behind them at 64 with Orion at 63. And then we see a little bit of a gap with Lapa at 55.
I mean, look at all these first place teams. A 21st place, a 27th place, Orion Polaris in 18th place. Like all these guys besides Superfunk have at least one bad placement. Yeah. And they're still able to just being just really good, apparently, on the other 2 games, able to push it forward. The only team that's been consistent that's in the top 5 that hasn't quite gotten an explosive game yet is going to be Lapa Gaming, who the first 2 games they're able to get crates for loot cave for free. The third game, for some reason or another, not finding a car early, whatever it was, it did not deign to do so and put themselves in a very bad position for the zone. And then it took a fight that they simply couldn't win. Only got 10 points at the end there. Actually, could we go back there really quick? I want to really study this because a win is 30 points, a kill is 3, right? So going down here, I'm looking all the way down to probably like Digital Athletics in 8th place. for a contender for first. A good first place, and then Mastermind's not playing well will allow that to happen. And look, it's already happened. These teams in first, second, and third place, fourth place, they've already all had bad games before. They're absolutely fallible. They could absolutely have another one. So Masterminds, which is Cotton, the team in red with the skull logo, Teletubbies Bravo, that is going to be the team that just won, which is a Snip Zecco and Zarks, I think it was, or Zarks? Karks, excuse me, yeah. And then Super Funk, of course, Baby Bean, and then Orion Polaris, Zimtastic, I think it was there. Yeah. No, that wasn't Zimtastic. Yes, it was. Yeah, sorry. Those are the teams to look out for. They do have rather significant leads, but beyond that, keep an eye out for Bankai and Co. from Lapid Gaming, Bad Boys, Iro. Like, there's a lot of names that could still make their way to first place and claim the $300 for winning.
Yep. Realistically, I still think anyone in the top 15 has a chance. Like you said, 30 points for the win. There, absolute worst case scenario, you're probably going to get 1 to 2 points, and that's for kills. That's at the very worst. So 32 points, that's going to skyrocket that 30 or the 15th place team who has 30 points all the way up into 60 something points. And I think the first place was 67. So they're going to need to supplement it with some good kills. Or, well, you said a kill is 3 points apiece. So
3 points apiece.
Yeah, realistically, like, get yourself a win, and if you're in the top 15, you could do it.
Yeah, you could absolutely do it.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it. Masterminds, they are Masterminds as well, but Teletubbies just skyrocketed up those leaderboards.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of kills, we do have new kill-based missions as well as other things you can do with missions on the Firstblood app. Go ahead and check out the website. Some of them make you play a game, other ones make you do damage, and still other ones make you get a couple of kills. It's various things that you can accomplish to unlock even more tickets as you play your normal battles and soon, starting tomorrow, tournaments. So keep an eye on those. Make sure you redeem them to get as many tickets as you can to give yourself the best chances as you submit those for the various prizes.
It's weird. It's almost as if this is how missions should actually be, like kill-based and skill-based.
I really like emoting in Mansion, excuse you? Let me drive my buggy to Mansion, go on a road trip with my dog that I gave a PUBG account so we can spend more time together.
Man, that's great. But
that's the laugh of an insane man, by the way. A damaged man. Yeah. A hurt man.
I'm scarred, all right. Last time I buy a Survivor Pass. Actually, probably not. I'll probably not. I'll get the next one too, realistically. Yeah. But either way, definitely worth checking out these additional missions through the website now. No longer the app, which is
the app is still open until mid-March. But there's literally no reason to use it, trust me.
So the website's that good.
Website's pretty good.
Yeah, so it's worth it. And the website, if you also want to compete in the Sidekick Showdown as well as the Survival Sunday League, then go ahead and hop on over to the website or go over to the Discord. Feel free to message us if you have any questions. Super easy to sign up for. Just play some public games and kick some butt in that, and then you'll end up on the stream and hopefully with us catching some of your action, maybe a good canine shot or something.
And more of your teammates that have signed up, the better your chances are. So, one game left. Top 15 can still absolutely do it, but I'm specifically looking at like the 8th place, or 9th place, is 8th place, still a lot of points, but 9th place through 15th place for, okay, you're gonna need a high kill win to get in there. Does your play style change that much, or do you still think that you're going to be avoiding that phase 4 cluster rather than trying to be the Terminator and kill everyone on a bridge or something?
Well, I guess it kind of depends on what your play style was before. If your play style was super passive and you're banking on circle, probably wouldn't continue doing that if it didn't work out the first 3 games. I think going into game 4, if you're on the bottom side of that leaderboards and you absolutely need these points, maybe going in, I think third partying is what I would look for. If you're in a compound and you're just hanging out and you hear shots ring out, a couple hundred meters away, it might be worth going out 100 meters outside your compound and try and get angles. And I'm not saying not super late game, because late game you're going to have a lot of different angles that can shoot you. But that early to mid game, I think, is worth going for those third party shots. Try to rack up a few points in early game, and then hope that transitions into late game, because if you end up making it into the late game, but you only have like 2 to 3 kills instead of like 6 or 7, that can make a huge difference on those leaderboards. Huge difference, especially with a kill being 3 points. Like, it's almost important. It's very important that you get over 5 kills if you're on that bottom half of the leaderboard.
Holding these compounds has looked incredibly difficult to do as well in these games. It's like because people are just like
Just
able
run
to
up to
almost
it.
always walk up to you. I think
have
that's
to
what
drive.
happened to Panda Team when the bad boys were able to just walk up, win a peak battle. Like the compound war just provides you the ability to engage in a peak battle more so than having like an area of control. Because like even within, I remember like you noting this in a fight at the very end, which was Masterminds versus one of our Galatasaray teams. I think it was the yellow one with Aussie and Huaith. You mentioned that Huaith couldn't get a res because Aussie was, quote, all the way across the compound. And it's like 5 meters. Like, but that's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah. Especially whenever you have a enemy directly outside your door. Like, sure, it's only 5 meters, but especially when you're playing against some really good shots, that 5 meters, that's more than enough. I mean, you give them 1 meter, you give them your head, and that could be lights out for you.
Yeah.
And so, although you're in the same
you don't have a
compound,
dodge
it's
slide
not-
you can use to cross that compound safely.
Right.
No shield cells to back you up there. So gonna be, oh my god. And I'm gonna be honest. After like going back to this game for a little bit, it's like, oh my god, people just die so fast. You get punished for like the smallest mistakes sometimes.
Yeah,
This
I
is a
mean,
very, very.
especially in comp.
Oh,
I mean, it's
especially
one thing in
comp.
pubs where just your average player punishes you, but in comp, if you make a mistake, you're more than likely going to get punished for it,
That's actually a good thing.
and then
Is it-
flushed immediately.
Yeah,
if you do it
flush
right.
immediately. The whole "don't flush me, you jerk" that happened that you hear in boot camp a lot isn't gonna fly in comp.
I'm surprised that that's even a thing in boot camp. Like it just
Yeah,
kinda-
like the one place people come to murder people.
yeah, right. Like if you go down, just expect to be finished off. You know, it's your fault for going down anyways.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother topic. We will be
That
jumping-
you'll be able to experience
Yeah.
tomorrow in the tournament that we have going on. 50 Sandhawk duos. Go ahead and sign up for it. $50 on the line for 3 rounds. If you ever just want to play a pub
There it
for
is.
money, essentially that's what we're aiming it to be. A lot of players that are going to be in. Just a little bit of extra cash on the line. See if you can test your mettle against the good. Not the best, but the pretty good.
They're pretty good.
The pretty good.
I mean, realistically, Sandhawk duos, it's hectic. That's super
It's
hectic.
insane.
Yeah, it's not, especially with, is it 50 team?
50 duos.
50 duos. So,
it's just
almost
a full
100, yeah,
game.
100 people. I mean, I'm sure some people will end up not showing up. So 90-something people. That is a lot of people on Sandhawk, a whole lot of people. And whenever you have a lot of the people together on Sandhawk, you're going to inevitably end up losing to some snake or someone.
Oh my
holding a
god,
compound.
I'm just
And so-
remembering the last
gonna be
Sidekick Showdown
hectic.
we did, and it was just like there was like 6 people that were on the southeast side. 2 of them were snakes in the blue. 2 of them were like holding. 4 of them were snakes in the blue. 2 of them were just like holding the hill, thinking everything was fine. And then all the snakes just started shooting at once. They weren't even on the same team. It was like, what is going? Like, what do you even do about that? Like, the grass is so long, you can't even tell what's going on around you.
Yeah.
It's very, very scary.
You have
and
to
honestly,
slow everything down so much in Sandhawk. I mean,
Yeah.
you really have to take every little peek around a tree super slow and make sure that not necessarily peek it slow, but very methodically to scan out your immediate surroundings because there's so much
would
foliage, there's
lose
so
my
many
mind.
trees, there's so many rocks that people like to prone up against, and then they're inevitably invisible, and so it's extremely important that you don't just go running like it's Aaron goal, and you can kind of bet on where people will be, and if there is a random snake, then it's truly random. Whereas Sandhawk, it's like, you know what, I could see there being a snake over
Yeah.
that ridge, behind that rock, behind that tree, and up against
Oh
that building
yeah,
as well.
I get anxiety playing. like
Yeah,
that,
no,
man.
it's very yeah.
Like when
It's
I'm
hard.
playing Sandhawk and I see that there's like phase 1 pops 15 alive, it's like, well, at least I'm not gonna get shot in the back by a snake. It's gonna be a boring game, but I'm probably gonna win it.
Dies in 14th place.
Oof. Feels in a duos game.
Yeah, right.
What? Feels bad, but also feels what, man? All right. Well, we have one more game. We're just waiting for the server to go up. It's going to be on NA. I think that the Masterminds was our own. No, actually, no, they're EU as well. I think that Orion. No, they're EU as well.
Yeah, there you. EU's kicking butt today.
Feels bad.
I like it. Hey, I mean, it's bound to happen 1 week or 2 weeks where EU just comes in and stomps, just like NA is going to inevitably get their week as well. That's just PUBG. Sometimes that's how it plays out.
You think that there's some competitive event that NA is going to kick EU's butt?
I mean, realistically, EU has so many phenomenal players.
Yeah.
So many phenomenal players. But I don't want to take anything away from the NA scene either. I think there's definitely a select few teams that could give any team in the EU scene a run for their money. And the same goes for any other pro scene. Realistically, yeah, I think there's a few NA teams that could just absolutely dominate on a global setting.
The Happy Campers, Supernova.
Yeah. but realistically, like I do thoroughly think C9, Simplicity, Envy, Space Station Gaming,
Tempo Storm.
They've
been killing it lately.
especially Tempo Storm, could give any EU team a run for their money. You know, don't get me wrong, I still think FaZe is the best team in the world.
Still?
And I don't know, dude. Maybe not.
I don't think so anymore.
No,
I think the time is gone.
Either way, I could see some tournaments ending up in NA's favor just as much as I'd see it ending up in EU's.
Well, right now we're certainly seeing EU kick the crap out of us. So hopefully we'll be able to see that turn around here at Firstblood as well. See some of our NA leaderboard grind
Hey, just
teams.
one game. That's all it takes. One game. You get it skyrocketed back.
I mean,
up
with the
leaderboards.
SSL finale that's happening actually in a couple of days here on
this Sunday.
on Sunday.
Right. Yeah.
We have a vast majority of EU teams, but of the NA teams we have a couple of competitive NA teams. We have a couple of leaderboard grinding teams that actually have leaderboard grind, used Firstblood, and are now competitive teams. After seeing them talk a little bit, it's like, oh, they're actually going to be playing an NPL quals that are happening this Sunday as well.
There we go.
So that's pretty cool to see, like us kind of be like the gateway for them. Here we go though. Last game of the day, NA here at the Sidekick Showdown, the SKS. It could go any way. Top 15 easily could go for any one player. The only question is who. Let's go ahead and get into it, though. What do you feel about this outfit?
I think it's got good potential to blend in on Vikendi. I mean, you got the black, you got the
purple,
white, and
got the
so
purple,
you got the
purple
purple.
stuff on
Yeah,
Vikendi.
just lay down in some pure white snow, and you might stick out like a sore thumb, or you might blend in. It's kind of anyone's game.
Well, I've actually been debated about that before. There was a ghillie suit that was...
The ghillie suit's phenomenal.
He was there was a rock, okay? There's like one of the, actually, I remember, it was the rock southeast of Tovar. He was standing up, not moving, and I walked up to him, and I kept running.
Oof.
And I kept running, and then I was running directly at him, and he just shot me in my chest. I was like, what? There's a guy there. I felt like a velociraptor. Like, I only see stuff if it moves, otherwise I'm just blind.
Fair enough. This flight plan, though, pretty bad, honestly. Worst one we've seen all day, shifting far on this southwest side. We did see
any Western flight plan, though, man.
Honestly.
Like, there's compounds everywhere.
That's fair. Like, realistically, teams are going to find a good position to go. It kind of cuts off maybe the cave fights that we've seen.
No, Dark Dreams and Mankind are going
yeah, I was
for
about
it.
to say, nope, they're still about it. And they're likely going to end up finding a vehicle alongside that road as well.
Oh, I would love to see Dark Dreams stay to the road on the right, Bankai go to the road and left to really maximize your chances of finding a vehicle. You're going to need one anyway.
That's
So
fair.
you might as well spread out that way. That is unless you're taking Cement Factory. Meanwhile, oh my God, this is very colorful. What I'm looking at right now, Villa, hot as hell. Tovar, tons of teams here as well. Is this a Villa hot drop? Is that what we're seeing right now?
It looks like it might be. We have Buyukai going down.
Let's go to Villa.
PDS.
Let's go to Villa has 3 teams in it right now. Pros Don't Snake, IG Sangal, and Pickles and Evasion. Okay, yeah, Mime tilted out here. So no more Mime today. We'll be seeing if Pickles can do enough to help out here. Of the teams inside, it looks like Pickles is antsy and looking for some fights, while Socio already finding himself at a couple of SMGs is going to be able to stay alive right now as well. Looks like he's already lost a couple of peak battles, though, as he already is at 28 HP. Finding himself an upgrade to that Uzi, though, using his AK, while Sixel covers from the far side. Kai and Koski hearing that, but taking their sweet time, potentially waiting for the fight to end. Maybe they weren't intending this to be as hot of a drop as it really was here.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have expected 2 other teams to drop into Villa either, but Pickles and Evasion wrapping around the north side, trying to get different angles. They've effectively made it inside the compound, and they're going to push over to Sixel's side. Sixel does have the heads up on him with the AK, but Evasion comes around the corner, tries to get the hip fire, but doesn't And Sixel takes him down and out flushes him immediately. And now there's 2 members of PDS peeking around the corner. Pickles is in trouble.
Oh, he got spotted out. They know exactly where he is. With a peek with a Tommy gun of all things. That's going to be the only Tommy luck you'll see all day. So make sure you're relishing that one. Only has 36 bullets left as well. You just pull back, flanking around the far right side. But that's going to allow Sixel the time to get the res on the Socio. But what's that? A new challenger has arrived. IG Sangal showing up. Buyakai mowing down Pickles despite getting the peek on Akoski. And that's going to be a breath of fresh air potentially for Pros Don't Snake, although it looks like that Sixel did panic at some point, stopped the res, started it again. He will get the res on the Socio, but he's going to be going down himself. Socio barely finding time to heal, but even though he doesn't get the heal, if he doesn't actually go for the reload before doing that, so if they come out right now, he will only have 9 bullets, but as we see on the minimap and the kill feed, it was a trade, I think, that occurred that happened here. So Koski getting res, Buyakai doing that right now. So they're going to be chilling out right now. Meanwhile, the other IG Tech team going down right now in 20th place.
Yeah, and Teletubbies taking them down and now getting themselves 2 kills, so 6 points going their way early into the game. Buyakai is taking down Sixel.
Clean.
It's Sixel's second knock, I believe.
I'm not sure where actually that angle came from. I can't believe Kazi got shot through the entire building. And they're actually allowing this res to happen again. Buyakai creeping up over here, but it's probably going to be another Sixel res. He's not going to have time to heal at all. He should not try to heal. Buyakai just crouch walking in the front. What? No way you win a peak battle like that. That was nuts from Koski and Buyakai cleaning up the villa with a good chunk of kills.
Yeah, great place from Buyakai and Koski. They're rushing around the corner. I honestly thought Buyakai was in trouble, but
here, like in the middle of the map.
Tanaka hearing these shots go down and out, and he wants a part of the action, pushing up towards Koski and Buyakai, but Buyakai in front, they're all the way across the compound, and this is a rather large compound, 200 meters away, so they've got some ground to clear. Koski and Buyakai are going to be able to get the meds off as well. But they might not expect Tanaka and Yasugal to push up and in.
Tanaka has no ammo, so they did not loot that much. They're going to want to kill Koski and Buyakai for the kill points because they're pretty far down, but also just for the supplies. And looking around, there's teams everywhere. There's so many players. We're probably going to see Expo and Ryozan get a fight soon. Groka as well is somewhat hot, but definitely able to back off. And then we saw a third team, Iroh, kind of blending in with the buildings there as well. Ryozan and Exvo able to get into the combo, but doesn't spot a Quintagon, and based on their little arrows looking over at Ryozan, I would be pretty confident that they know exactly where Ryozan is right now.
Yeah, Ryozan is in trouble. He's going to swap out for this
a
K9.
R9.
Yeah. He opens that door. He's like, oh, sweet, K9. Kanino is pushing up and in. He's definitely spotted out Ryozan because he's crouch walking here, playing it nice and slow.
It doesn't matter. He still hurt him. Look at the way he's looking.
No, he's trading out. He's still trading. He's in his inventory. He has no clue that Kanino is here. I was about to say, Kaden's playing it super slow, yeah. Here we go. As soon as Ryozan... maybe he did.
Wiggled too much.
Yeah.
Wiggled too much.
He definitely hurt him.
I'm not sure if Ryozan saw no for that, but no definitely saw Ryozan. I think he's buying time. If he's in the minimap, Exo is quite far away. He will begin to take some shots. No getting hit once by that, but Ryozan didn't actually spot no. I'm not sure what he's wearing. Maybe that galactic AK sparkle just blinded him with its brilliance.
It's so bright.
I can't see. We'll be able to take his building. And Exo though.
He's pushing across.
Coming.
He wants this vengeance. I don't think he's going to be able to get the res on Ryozan in time, obviously. But, I mean, maybe he can kill or get a down onto Gladys Array in time. It does look like the shot coming out onto Quinta.
He's frustrated.
As I'd say, there goes the finish on Ryozan here. Any second now, Xolution's going to push. He's going to push back, actually, try and reposition.
Maybe he realized that the terrain wouldn't allow him to run away like that. And he's actually going to be going for the fight. Okay. No, I'm not sure exactly what was going on. Every day he's getting flushed there very easily. But look at this. A lot of players playing this essentially like comp, just getting compounds, getting positions really early. And this is what a lot of people kind of thought Vikendi was going to be, just people just going for the compounds. You don't get a compound, then good luck, lol. It's going to be a really, really difficult fight with these guys. They're coming from the edge. But at the very least, the guys that haven't gotten compounds early, like Pros Don't Snake that he's in, will be able to get his reward with a ghillie suit and a Groza to his name.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a centralized compound, too. They're not too bad off as far as this circle, because especially with the hardships we've seen, it hasn't ended up going like dead centers. So K&O and Chris, they're likely going to have to move. Kleinman's likely going to have to move. But some of these teams that are on the outside of the circle, like 75% of the way in the circle, they're sitting kind of good. It could end up shifting and ending right on their compound, like specifically Waith and Friend. I'm liking their position a whole lot here.
I wouldn't normally talk about this, but it's just an unfortunate flub up or error or troll. Baby Beans, their teammate Clusterfunk, for some reason is in squad 33. So they're not on the same team right now. An error in the custom matchmaking.
Oh, no.
I'm bringing this up because they're in 4th place right now. And that's
Okay.
just really unfortunate.
So basically what that means is if one of them ends up going down, it's going to be the immediate finish. Like there's not going to be any down. There's going to be no res.
Essentially not in this game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for them. Ideally, they still could play with each other as far as having to follow one another around, but realistically, that's going to be very challenging.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's a very, very weird thing to have happen here. Memo Effect and Ira, though, will get spotted by Izako Boars, who are once playing the similar spots time and time again here. So Izako Boars hopefully finding some kind of mastery with this terrain. Iro and Memo Effect playing only around the shed and nothing else really are a bit caught out. It's going to be very hard for them to rotate away from here, away from Izako Boars. Brooksville and Morpheus going for some hard peaks here.
Yeah, I mean, if they get the knock, then they could potentially get the flush pretty easily because Iro and Memo are stuck to just the shack. But
Santa Claus, no.
But getting that initial knock is definitely going to prove to be challenging against players like Iro and Memo, who never stand still and they're always jiggle peeking.
Iro is one of the best peekers that I've seen in my life. His problem is when he gets caught in spots like this, where he's forced around in the open. Iro at one shot. Brooksville not quite able to find the angle with the 8X Mini. Able to find a little better hard cover here alongside these rocks. Oh my god, a headshot, body shot. Nope, not quite enough. Brooksville consistently winning these peak battles against an incredibly strong pair, but still can't quite find the downs they need to push on them and eliminate them.
Yeah, and the circle does shift. Both these teams are still in, so they're not necessarily pressed for time as it stands right now. Iro and Memo are definitely on the worst side of this circle.
Oh, Buyakai and Koski. IG Sangal potentially coming to shoot IG Sangal in the back. And the other team, only team that can contest this from the south, is now in a fight right now. So this might be a lucky break for Team Red. That's actually his brother coming in. The brother of Iro.
Don't worry, brother, I'll save
coming
you.
in from the side.
We've got the grenade coming out from Ozzy, finishing off PDS, as well as Tanaka going down and out.
That's a Groza they're getting right there. That was the team that got the crate. We was also almost going down, but still, Buyakai trying to creep in here. He's just waiting for an angle, but for a time for him to spot someone, begin shooting, and then Buyakai will try to shoot him in the back when they stop moving. But Brooksville's not giving it to him.
All right, chat. You're seeing firsthand why it's so important to always keep moving. I mean, Buyakai, he's got a mini. He could potentially take these shots either way, but the chances of Brooksville going down is so slim.
Wait, hold up. Bang Kai's in 5th place, I think, with Lappa Gaming. Going down here despite getting Luke Cave.
That's it.
They didn't even get shot. Actually, Marcelek did once. But going up against Luke Cave boys, level 3 armor, and just utterly demolishing them.
That's Morrow for you.
Look at this IG Sangal. Oh, they're backing off.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't.
He's wiggling too much.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, how long are you going to wait out in the open and open yourselves up to a third party just to try to get an initial knock onto Izako Boars? It's obviously a good team because this guy is not stopped moving. Like, he's continuously moving around.
They have found each other.
He's like, is this you for sure?
This is really nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what if it's not them? What if I'm just following someone? But no, they definitely have comms right now. Some message to people, everyone. Don't F with TOs. Just join your slot, please.
For real.
Please.
Especially when you're the 4th place team. Like, come on. The circle does end up shifting a little more central. Izako Boars. Oh, this is still phase 2. Okay, so it hasn't shifted anywhere. Honestly, I'd be fine with it going more central. We've seen a lot of hard shifts today, so I wouldn't mind one neutral. Yeah, I wouldn't mind one neutral circle for the day.
Something that doesn't throw players through a loop.
Right.
Seeing these tire tracks will probably call as Alive for Gaming saying, all right, if there's a team here, let's not be a part of that. You're going to be wrapping under it instead. Lucky Twig will be none the wiser to their presence. Simply a couple of surprise neighbors moving into this motel down below them. Not going to be in zone for too long, though, as it's at the very, very edge. It's almost certainly going to shift over here toward Tovar.
We've got a boat play.
Oh, it's pretty hard to hit players in boats, but oh my god. Thirst 8 is making it look easy. Madras now a one-shot, making a D-Day style landing. Gonna be landing it, going out on the incorrect side on the left instead of the right, but will not get punished for that. Able to get to hard cover, go for a heal, but this might be the beginning of the end. He did lose his teammate on the movement in. However, Svanster moving in first might allow Magister Z to win a 1v1, although trying to find a cheeky angle like this under the bridge. Svanster couldn't see him, but not White Wolf sure as hell could have. Easy shot for him.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate boat play driving right up to the only, I guess, one of the only two teams that potentially gatekeep you out. The circle does end up centralizing a little bit.
Mastermind or in the spot that won them the game last game? Oh no, your gun wasn't full on out. Okay, lucky to be able to make it happen anyway. Luck definitely in the twig for this one. Patchy going down. It looks like Burly Viking can't quite find Vactor. A little bit too far to the east as Vactor begins rotating west. He'll be going for a frag, bounce at the building, trying to get the flush there, spotting him anyway. But spending so much time and resources going for that flush does allow Vactor to begin going for the flank. But I'm pretty sure that Viking lost the fight, pulled back, is providing the information to his team that someone's over here. Now Vactor in a 1v2 strip situation is even getting third party, so essentially a 1v4. He's forced toward the Viking, is brought out into the open, but no, clubs the first spray, but hits the second one. Vactor making some magic happen, winning fights that he quite frankly shouldn't. He's looting, but because he knows the team of that player dropped down. Patchy said the second one's down here, so he went for the push, took down the other player, and now in a straight up 1v1 situation where Lucky Twig is the one who's now getting third partied by Beans and the Cluster Funk.
Yeah, and there it is. Baby Beans taking down Lucky Twig. Vactor able to get that kill and work his way in. He does lose his teammate in the process, and now he's getting third party from Baby Beans, and as well as Azaka Boars Morpheus connecting the K9 shot onto Vactor, eliminating him in 20th place. Solid attempt, but that's a hard push ahead of him, and we saw exactly what happened. Hui trying to get some shots into Zaka Boars, but Zaka Boars does have the hard cover to hide behind, and so Hui's attempts are going to just be, well, I guess.
Oh, the jump deep.
I was going to say wasted time, but realistically, if he got that shot there, it would have been worth doing some damage.
Style is
the
worth
armor.
Any amount of unoptimal
there we
play.
Go. Yep, exactly.
IG Sangal able to get themselves a very centralized confidence with Koski in the center near the crossroads. Probably going to be able to stay here for a very, very long time as roads are oftentimes in play for a very long time. Spotting out a couple players on the far side. Already 31 players alive. So rather than hitting a boiling point, we've just kind of had a lot of fights happen. And so because of that, I don't think that there will be a boiling point, just fights occurring at various spots in the zone as people are forced to move. And the south side is looking like the potential next spot what's going to happen as the Teletubbies are now getting crept up on by Kisai, who is instantly spotted and has to start rotating as Galactus Array Lions is only one player right now. Bad news for him as he's been spotted and now is starting a 1v2.
Yeah, and the circle is slowly but surely pushing him in. Phase 3 going to close all the way in within the next 13 seconds. He's got Snip and Karks looking directly at his general location. So Kai has a very hard push, but it looks like the foliage.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's getting third party, I think, from the north there. The circle does shift off to the south, so he can hang out on this rock for a little bit longer, as long as no nades come in and take him out, or you guys any bullets from Karks and friend.
It's really hard for either team to find an angle to this one tree. Oh, finding the chest shot. It looked like a headshot with the observer right here. But yeah, Snip still peeking, still trying to find something. A headshot will down on one shot after all. But nah, Kisei's had enough. Smoking north. The zone did shift toward Tovar, so we're going to be getting
this is the boiling
CD
point.
ending, and this is the boiling point. There's really too many teams that are forced to cross this road in the far north side. Masterminds are holding their ground. We're trying to keep these guys up, but there are still people slipping through the cracks. IG Sangal going into the northwest, going toward one of our Teletubbies teams. Kleinman able to finish off 6-mo. Digital Athletics, despite getting an insane game 1, going out once again pretty early here, probably out of it now.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time. I don't think I saw their name in the kill feed too much this game, if at all.
Spotting Koski running out in the open. Ibis with some SKS shots, landing one, but the other two will not work. Buikai continuing on, trying to buy Koski an angle here. I think Kleinman can hear him though. Both players wrapping around, and Buikai beginning to play a little defensively. Oh my god, no, Kleinman had no idea. Not even landing a single shot onto Buikai, and now Ibis all alone has to decide to go help his teammate who is now dead, or try to kill Buikai. Koski taking this time, running up to his teammate. That was exactly what they needed. If they stay too long on that western ridge, they're going to get third-partied by the teams coming in from the west and the north. Killing Kleinman is exactly what IG Sangal needed to break into some hard cover provided by Tovar.
Yeah, I mean, Ivis, he's the solo man here. I think he needs to just play his position and wait to maybe try and snake in some placement points as well, just pick up some kills. Maybe take that the compound directly to his south, or the solo building. Be much easier to hold as a solo, especially with Koski and Friend right around the corner from you. You got to expect them to try and push in and take your life and positioning sooner or later.
Zako Bor is a little frustrated that their sit in Villa strat isn't working this game. Maro being a big spread, Mozart finds him eventually. QC respected, not spotted quite yet. Maro does now find him, win the peak battle with a headshot there. Marcelic didn't actually have ammo there for a second, allowing QC respected to walk to the rock, but this frag should do it all. Just chucking it underhand right far enough for that rock. Frag does make it into the building, but not going to kill both of them. They are able to take him down. Only problem is that Zako Bors heard that, and this is kind of a rematch from SSL. Zako Bors and Bonzo team got first place and second place, I think, respectively here. So a little mini rematch coming out here as Marcelic from Bonzo team will now be in a fight against the Zako Bors. Although, as I say that, the masterminds to the far, far south, the current first place team will spot the Zako Bors out, harass them a little bit, and force them into this compound. So Marcelic and Maro will be forced in a fight against Bruxel and Morpheus.
And Maro and Marcelic, they're barely inside zone, but Bruxel and Morpheus are not. And so Bruxel and Morpheus, their only option to make it inside this next circle is to push through Maro and Marcelic. They're going to have to get the knock here soon.
Marcelic just wasn't watching the window. Oh my god, bullets flinging by all around. Morpheus trying to throw a frag that is not at all going where he wanted it to go, behind the building instead of the window. And the frag from Maro is going to be enough. Morpheus needing to make a play, goes for it right now, but only 5 smokes. He was expecting to make it to the end game, but it's not going to happen this time around. Using the smoke, though, as an audio distraction. Those grenades make a ton of noise. He is able to make it to the wall here. They do not know exactly where Morpheus is. His teammate getting flushed, but now the masterminds to the southeast making a lot more noise, trying to shoot Marcelic and Maro through the window, while Morpheus tries to make more smoke, making it even harder to hit.
Yeah, I mean, the circle shifts off them, so all 3 of these players have to move, as well as the Team Mastermind off to their southeast. Team Mastermind is in a better position to just hang out and wait. There we go, Marcelic and Maro making the moves almost immediately, trying to wrap around
Are they allowed to do
side.
this? Mastermind might spot this if they go for a move here to the southeast. I
think they've got the line of sight covered.
Oh my god,
yep,
just way too many trees, as well as an entire hill. Yeah, that's not happening ever. Zako Bors having a contend with either one of these 2 teams, either Marcelic or it's going to be Mastermind to their east. IG Sangal spotting all of this out. Ivis now shooting Koski in the back, trying to get some revenge. But he actually literally ignores it, just kind of gets low and goes for a heal. And this is actually kind of scary for IG Sangal, because if they don't get enough damage on these guys to make them not want to peek them, they can't go south safely, because Ivis is watching them. And the guys to the north are really good about to flank them. Over here, this Thursday getting almost an initial knock, but not White Wolf getting down on the far side. The Svanster all alone trying to peek against No, but it will be No who wins that particular battle. Galactus Array claiming the east side of the zone, cleaning up everyone, actually. They have the entirety of Tovar to themselves.
Yeah, that was a pretty good spray coming out from KN. Honestly, he peeked around the left side, re-peeked on the right, re-peeked on the left, and initially took out, or eventually took out his opponent. But realistically, to be able to make it to the hard cover and then quickly transition that into return fire it's pretty good. Great plays from him.
Phase 5, 15 alive. 3 duos missing their partners. Quite a few solos. Northeast side, we do see Cottonmouth has been crept up on by Capitano, being very, very stealthy. This is one of our solo players. Capitano Dry Impact could make a big dent in the outcome of this game if he takes down Cottonmouth, but oh my god. He sees him, not going for the shot yet. Goes for it now during a strafe. One more will do it, but can't quite hit it. The zone's pushing him in. He's at the Mastermind's at low HP, but oh my god, Chris was waiting for him, not making a sound, ready for the flank. Good job from Chris to not make any audio, but now they need to be worried because they don't have any smokes out yet. In fact, they only had 2. Buyakai might be able to do something about this, but it looks like Koski at some point died on top of that mountain, leaving Buyakai alone. He's not going to be as willing to peek this to the point where he's actually actually allowing Marcelic and Mara to push up. They already have 8 kills. This might be the game for Major Team as there's cleaning up solos. They're trying to find the way up this rock, but oh my god, Maro spotting Buik hiding on the left side. Marcelic they got some fire, but they just can't find the way up this rock. Maro finally does. Marcelic as well, and we've seen Marcelic in smoke clouds. This is a dangerous mix for anyone on the other side of Marcelic's gun, but they're not too willing to fight this out. They're waiting. It's gonna roll. Okay, did not roll on top of his head, and it shot in the back. Ivis getting revenge on IG Sangal for killing his teammate earlier, being the third party that lost in the game. Look over here though. Northeast, Masterminds in a bit of trouble. They barely make it to the hard cover, but they go right, Marcelic's there. They go left, the entirety of Teletubbies, actually, both teams, as well as a Kindergod and No, are going to be there to push him out. This is a game-losing spot for Masterminds.
Yeah. I mean, unless they have a lot more smokes, which I think they used all of their utility up trying to get in their current
I think
position.
they had like 2 to get here.
So. Yeah. And it's worth noting that we have Snip and Kark still alive, DA, Iro, and Memo Effect still alive.
So many duos.
I think that's and then Marcelek and Maro. I think that's our teams that are still in contention. I'm sorry if I missed any, but
no. He didn't spot the part of Teletubbies that were prone behind this rock. Gear. They don't see him either. We can see with the third-person cam. He doesn't see him. He's just not looking. Ivis is actually harassing them and actually forces them into the duo of Snip and Co. Teletubbies actually accidentally working together in this scenario. They're now beginning to push out, and it will be Snip able to get the kill onto Quintagod. But look at the kill feed. Marcelic was able to steal one of these kills here.
Good for him. And I mean, that happens. 9th or 10th kill? Yeah, 9th, I think. That happens so often in the late game, especially in duos. Once you get that initial knock, you have to almost immediately flush because the zone's so small that there's definitely going to be enemies within the near vicinity. And as soon as they hear those shots ring off, they're going to try and get those third-party shots in.
We're going to see Teletubbies versus Teletubbies soon. Ivis with a numbers disadvantage here. Meanwhile, looks like Iro might be spotting Ozzy and Hueth as they make their push across the road. Hueth under a lot of pressure here. One more shot will do him in, but he is not going to be dying today. Not yet. It will be his teammate who gets his head blown off first. Hueth hiding, cowering behind this rock, trying to stay alive as long as he can. Ozzy with almost no hope of a res. The stronghold held by Maro and Marcelic on top of that rock is way too strong for them to push at this angle. This is not a winnable fight for them.
Yeah, and Hueth has no helmet either. He just needs to hang out and lay it prone while he can. I mean, yeah, this is not looking good for him at all. Maybe if he can get a knock onto Marcelic and Maro, he might be able to push up and around, but that's,
Yeah, although Major Team, though, isn't putting all their resources on this. They're only having Maro here because they don't want to allow Mastermind to their east to do anything. This is insane for Major Team. Almost all the cover in the zone is not in play besides this gigantic hill. I don't think that they'll be able to prevent someone from getting to the south side. Okay, Marcelic. All right, nice. Their 11th kill. 65. That's 33 points. I don't know where they're in the leaderboard, but this is insane.
And they've got a top 5, so they've got the placement points, and they've also got 33 points in kill points. They're tearing it up this game, and there's still 7 enemies up for them to kill.
And they're arguably in the best spot in the zone. They have murdered, they have killed for it, but speaking of maybe unoptimal spots, we see Snip. He's looking. He knows someone's over there. His little teammates are just hiding around. He probably knows it's them too. So if that's me, I want to kill them so bad.
Yeah. Ivis no longer cares about making it in the money. He just realizes that he's got his 2 teammates off to the south, and there's nothing more satisfying than getting those
Is that
kills.
going to blind him to the push, though? He's not watching Chris and Cotton go for the push. Marcelic harassing them. Ivis as well is a cluster. Chris makes it to cover somehow, but Cotton will not have the same thing afforded to him going down here, not able to get the heal. I think he hears Ivis push out for this. This is so aggressive, and hearing Chris, that'll be the first place team knocked out in 5th. I don't think that's going to be enough, Charity.
Probably not with Marcelic and Maro. I mean, the first place team, they're still going to likely make it inside the money, but whether or not they maintain first place.
Peekaboo! What? ADS! Okay, you find Snip eventually. It looks like friendly fire in the kill feed. But his teammate Kark's taking a lot of suppressing fire from Team Ready, from Digital Athletics across the road. going to the tree, but Iva's going for a flank, which he is so known for. When he smells blood, he goes for it, and he sees him. Oh, Karks turns on him, some Teletubby on Teletubby action. I thought this was a children's show. Karks taking Ivis down, leaving a couple of solos alive, but although his teammate is still alive, still bleeding out, and unless Iroh and Memo Effect push out, he might even get the res. He's gonna get the res. Iroh's going for a fight onto Maro and Marcelic.
We're down to our final.
They just got zoned too.
6 alive, yeah, and they got zoned. And I mean, honestly, this is a very tough push for Zip and Karks, with both Iroh and Memo Effect off to the west, and then Marcelic and Maro off to the east.
That smoke is so smart. The one that's off center.
Yeah.
It's in front of. They're not in it. It's in front of them. It's blocking off LOS. They thought there might have been a res in the smoke, but that grenade was nowhere near the mark due to how he put that there. Teletubby's so smart today. Snip and Karks wrapping on the right side. They know it's clear. Probably. They've been prone for a very long time. Based on the kill feed and audio, they probably know it's clear. Marcelic is still covering that. They're trying to maintain this spot on the high ground as long as they can. They should be able to do this, but between Iroh on this side of the rock and Marcelic sort of ushering them away from the far east side of this rock, I don't think that there's a place where Teletubbies can go when this zone ends that they're not going to get flanked at.
Yeah, especially with Memo Effect far off to the west here. This, like I said, it's going to be a very tough push for Teletubbies. They're just going to have to hope that Marcelic and Maro end up getting pushed back up along the ridge on the north side.
They're actually allowed to prone here. So if this rock stops
could be really good then.
That actually could be game winning depending on where the zone goes.
This is phase 8, so this next zone is going to go dead center of this circle right here. And so they could be in a really good position.
Dude, this is so
this is
smart.
this is going to be a crazy
If this was me, I'd be looking for hard cover, like something that I can actually hide behind.
Hiding out in plain sight.
Yeah, right now, like these two teams, like their spots are so good, so just don't push them. Just let them wait for him to leave. And look at this, Marcelic and Maro.
Ditch that level 3 bag, Snip. Don't have the level 3 bag.
Oh, goodness.
Gives you away.
Oh, that is huge.
Yeah. Like, realistically, chat, 100%. Level 2 bags, level 1 bags, not the end of the world, but level 3 bags will give your position away, so you want to ditch that immediately.
Here we go. Marcelic, Maro going for a push. Iroh holding this alone. Memo not coming back yet. Iroh does not know this is happening. He hears him. Memo needs to come in right now. Maro holding the angle, but oh my god, gets the kill onto Iroh. They have 12 kills right now. Goes to the flush. Marcelic does. Memo not in position to stop the flush. And they even are able to take high ground in dead center of the zone. And they even spot these snakes.
Oh,
Karks with an AK spray at that range, hitting Marcelic in the head. Unless there's a frag though, no one's gonna be able to stop this.
Yeah, he's got the res for free here, and they're pretty close to center, so the circle is going to afford them enough time to get that res and a full med off too. But this allows Karks to reposition. Gets the headshot on the Memo. Now it's a 2v2. Marcelic still has to pop the first aid. Karks and Snip are able to push up the hill and get to the base of the mountain, as well as Karks was able to, but he throws smokes down for Snip.
Okay. Teletubbies Bravo is closer to the middle of the zone than Maro is. As long as they take their time and don't overextend, this is going to be an insanely hard fight to specifically kill Karks from. He has a really good spot. Snip, meanwhile, playing the far angle, playing inside the smoke. This is a little bit more dangerous here. That tree might be better, but either way, it's not going to be a good day for Snip right here. Marcelic going low, Maro staying high. Both teams taking very similar approaches. One player close to the center, one player off to the side.
Yeah, I mean, Maro does have the high ground, which is nice, but Karks has the hard cover along this rock side. Oh my god. I think Karks is going to have to move here any second. The blue's going to force him out of his position, but the smoke cover from Marcelic
He doesn't have any smokes anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not good for Teletubbies. They might have over-smoked too early. Going to be forced into a spot where Maro can just jump down and Goomba stomp him, just shoot him right in the top of the head. Spotted out, Snip does, and now it's just going to be Marcelic versus Maro, who doesn't spot Karks. Going for the 2v1, he does.
Oh, he got
Oh my god,
back
Karks.
to back.
He needed that one too, because he only had 5 kills. Meanwhile, the other team, they had 13 kills, second place. Whatever, man. That's a lot of points. But Teletubbies Bravo needed every single point they could squeeze out of this game, and they made it happen, getting only 5 kills. That being said, 13 kills, that's going to be 33 points plus 18.
39 points.
39 plus 18. 39, 18. Oh, God. That's 57, I think.
I'm not even gonna try. I'm terrible at math, but that sounds right. That sounds right.
That's 57.
That sounds like a lot of points for one game. That's absolutely unbelievable.
And then first place, that was 30 points for the win, 15 for the kill. It's 45 points. Oh my god. Oh boy, that's
and the leaderboards were close before that game. So honestly, I couldn't tell you. I
have
would,
no idea.
I would guess Teletubbies is
I'm
in
not
the
even gonna
lead.
speculate.
I would guess first place maybe.
Well, were they, how far were they?
They were, I think they were second place going
Oh
into
god,
this game with
they're
65.
so far ahead then.
But I mean, I'm not sure where Morrow and Marsalek were on the leaderboards
I
necessarily.
saw Morrow die early a lot. I
Okay,
don't think that he's
Pretty
that far
close
out.
then.
Like they're basking in the afterglow that is murdering an entire lobby of competitive players.
Yeah.
But that might be all it is. That might be all they get from this, because I'm pretty sure games 1 through 3 were pretty big slaughters on their side
That's
of things.
unfortunate. Hey, but like we said, all it takes is one really good game to skyrocket your points up into the top 5. I mean, top 5 pays you out, and so
Yeah, and I could be wrong about that, by the way. There was 60 players to remember today, so I could be very wrong about where exactly Mar and Marcelic were during this. I just know for a fact, after thinking about it a little more. Yeah, Bravo was pretty high up, and they got.
They did phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, they got back-to-back wins.
Clutch back-to-back wins.
Clutch back-to-back wins. Yeah.
Clutch back-to-back wins. Both of them at 1 HP. Both of them a 1v2 situation. Barely beat the Rez off in the game 3 and game 4. Able to win a 1v2. A little bit lucky that Marcelic didn't win it, didn't beat him there. But Morrow on top of that rock, oh my god, Karks, you're insane for winning that 1v1. I cannot wait for these leaderboards to pop up, man.
Yeah, I mean, Morrow's positioning and Marcelic's positioning towards the end there. Phase 9, not bad by any means. They had the high ground, but Karks had a great position hugging up against that rock. He only exposed his head in that peak battle, or, well, I guess shoulders and up. And so overall, the positioning in Phase 9 was kind of even. I mean, high ground compared to low ground. High ground's going to win it most of the time. But before that, phases 5 through 8, Marsalek and Morrow having to hold down some very tough positions and keep out a few tough teams, and then work their way through and push through some tough teams. And
the fact that IG Sangal was holding Marsalek and Morrow's position for the majority of that game, at some point, Koski went down. I think that they weren't really respecting a lot of other high ground positions that could shoot on top of that rock. They lost a player at that point, and also, quite frankly, they went there too early. When there were still other positions in the zone that could shoot on top of it. When Marcelic and Mar went up there, it was a long push. It took a long time for them to smoke out Buikai. In fact, it wasn't even them that killed Buikai. It was Ivis after Buikai overpeaked. I'm going to call it that. I think they overpeaked trying to look at what was going on the other side of the zone when he was on his own. But once Marcelic and Mar realized the high ground was open, they went up to it in a spot where there was no other angle that was really that could have pushed. In fact, the only way they get pushed was if like Iroh and Coach had pushed across. Actually, no, Galactasaur tried to push them, and they were already in position to get ready for that. Yeah. So it's all right, it's just the best spot in the game once you're allowed to stay up there and actually use the rock as cover and not have it be something you need to prone in and they can still shoot your head. So really, really good timing from that team. And honestly, in the game, in the time before that, I think they walked into that with 8 kills. So
I would be surprised to not see them at least in the top 4.
We're seeing them.
3.
We're seeing them for sure.
But realistically, if like you said, they had the terrible games 1 through 3. Maybe that's not going to be enough, because Game 4, instead of taking home the 30 points for the first place finish, they only took home 18, which is still a lot of points, but a 12-point difference nonetheless between the first and second. And so I think that could be a difference between a first or second. Here we go.
Oh my god! What? I was wrong.
Well, Teletubbies obviously in a strong lead.
Oh yeah, it's not sorted properly in the total.
Looks
numbers.
like Masterminds is right behind them with 73 points. So it's quite a difference there. Teletubbies coming out so very strong with the back-to-back wins.
Major team.
Yeah, they killed.
Oh yeah, major. Okay, this leaderboard's not done. Send it back. It's not quite calculated properly for some people. So we'll see what that exactly is soon. That was a lot closer. Well, I think that 110 was correct.
Yeah, the ones,
and I don't think anyone's beaten that. Okay, it was a lot closer. So major team, a 19th, a 7th, and a 19th and a 23rd. Way too much of a deficit to overcome 2 first places and what is a very, very heavy first place system. So Teletubbies making some big plays, doing exactly what they had to do, recovering from their initial 27th place with flying colors.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, but both Teletubbies Alpha coming in with 67 points, Teletubbies Bravo 110, tearing it up. You have Bad Boys and Digital Athletics both within the top, well, one in 11th, one in 4th, and then both the Panda teams in top 15 scenarios as well. So we saw a lot of teams come out and do really well. And then Super Funk coming out, surprising me as well. They dropped a lot of good kills today.
They're actually tied with the Gladys Array Yellow, and the tiebreaker rules after the comp change has been total number of kills and then average placements. So we will have to calculate. Actually, I can just literally do this right now. It's 10, 12, 16 kills for Gladys Array. And
like Super Funk takes it.
Yeah, with 17 kills, I think, right? 9, 4 is 13, 15. Yeah, 17 kills. So Super Funk actually getting in 5th place by a single kill over Gladys Array. Insane stuff right there from them. Never seen it before. They lost a lot of their steam after the first couple of games. Being alone, essentially, at the end game 4 probably didn't help. But that's probably the only difference between, like, 5th place and 4th place for them. Either way, great games from Teletubbies. Y'all killed it. We saw them all game, every game. They're almost always in the end game in some capacity. Major team as well. Huge congrats to you for getting the money. Masterminds, Bad Boys, and Super Funk for the top 5, breaking into the 675 prize pool. All right, well, we hope you guys enjoyed the SKS. If you liked what you saw today, then this weekend on Sunday, we have an even bigger event coming up. It's going to be the Survival Sunday League finale with the halftime show being hosted by Esquire and Mustache Dave of NPL Glory. Esquire, a NPLC, one of the big NPLC talents right there, and Mustache Dave. If you don't know him, then what are you doing here? He owns a team. He used to cast PUBG, doesn't anymore because he can't do that with owning a team. And he's honestly everywhere. You look somewhere, he's like, wait, is that a Dave I see in the distance? And most likely it is.
Yep. It's true. I'm pretty sure I've ran into him popping out of like 7 different bushes in pub matches. So
oh yeah,
he's everywhere.
The mustache
I'm telling
is very
you,
obvious.
like it's just out of nowhere. Before you know it, he's right there.
Or he also hosts Apex community tournaments. So like he's everywhere. The dude just does everything. All right.
But that'll be this Sunday at
1 hour early, 11 a.m. EST. It's going to be a best of 6 instead of our normal best of 4.
There we
and
go.
a 5K prize pool with $3,000 going to first place. All the teams that qualified for this either got a first or a second in weeks 1 through 7's SSLs, or they got a high non-qualifying kill count and a non-qualifying point total. That was Vicious Gaming from the NPLC, as well as IG Sangao, who they literally play every week with us. I was glad they were able to get that slot for the finale as well. That being said, anything you want to say, Charity, before we close it out?
I can't think of anything. I guess besides the normal, if you want to play in the Sidekick Showdown or the Sidekick Showdowns or the Survival Sunday League, although this Sunday is the grand finale, so won't be able to sign up for this one, unfortunately. But the following week, we're going to be kicking it back off with just week 1.
It's going to be a small break between season 2.
Break?
It should be coming back soon after that to a non-determined date.
There we go.
But it'll be coming back eventually. So if you want to watch or check out some Survival Sunday, this weekend is going to be your only chance to do so in the super near future. Anyway, that's it from us today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that I will see you this Sunday at the SSL finale. See you guys then.